Hello. Yeah, I worked this up at 9 o'clock a couple minutes ago. Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. Welcome to the GWARPod. That's my line. I got too busy practicing my ukulele. That's the new name for it, the ukulele. You like my Kevin the Dinosaur stickers? That's right. I'm going on tour with Green Jelly tomorrow for 2 days, because that's how it works these days if you're regional. If you're around, you join the band. I'm joining the circus. How about you guys? We got this is going to be a good one today. Tim Herrman, a.k.a. Sluggo de la Martini, the original sleazy, pre-sleazy. And oh my God, I keep learning more and more stuff about this guy. It's going to be a fascinating conversation. We got a lot in common. And how are you guys doing? Are you sick of you yet? Did you guys see GWAR on this tour yet? Are they playing tonight? Maybe we'll tune into their live stream. Yes, dinosaur making music. That's what I've got here. All right, are you guys ready for the GWARPod? Let me get that theme song ready.
GWARPod comes from on GWARPod. 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 GWARPod.
Hello, Tim Herrman.
Wake up.
All the way from Thailand, from the future.
Yes, I am. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday for you, and it's Wednesday for us over here in the United States.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, like I'm saying, every time you send me something, I'm like, holy shit, this guy just keeps getting more and more interesting. Like, I actually had no idea pretty much anything about you until this week. So we're going to learn. We're going to learn in real time and with the audience, of course, if you guys chat along, of course. Where's my little banner here? Did you guys miss me? It's been a minute. I did see GWAR a couple of weeks ago. Do you still keep up with GWAR? Do you like see what's going on with them, or?
No. The last time I saw them was, I believe, 2009 at the House of Blues in LA.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw Brocky, too. So I'm glad I went. And Dookie was with me.
And Dookie, see, we're going to talk about Dookie Flyswatter, too. We're going to do something that I haven't done on this show before, which is do some live documentary filmmaking. Because I know this guy knows Dookie Flyswatter. Did you, by any chance, get to check out the new preview that I put out from the documentary recently?
No, I just went to IMDb. And,
good. I just got that up, too.
Shepard and Cousin Oliver.
Oh, yeah, you know Robbie?
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
Man, you know all the Hollywood weirdos. When did you...
Undead Kennedys.
Yeah. Did you go see them?
No, I don't think I ever saw them. They only played like 2 or 3 shows, I think.
No, they were together for a couple of years, actually.
Well,
with some various lineups.
And Dookie was hiding something from me.
I know. God damn it, Dookie. What the hell?
But I was really busy, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Going out on weeknights, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I hear that. Did you know the Chicken Heads?
No, Chicken Heads.
No, you don't know the radioactive Chicken Heads?
No.
Oh, well.
Why should I know them?
Oh, well, they're just an excellent bunch of punk rock chickens that and Dookie Flyswatter is sometimes portrays their creator / arch nemesis Baron von Kluckenstein.
When did he do this?
Ooh, I don't know. He was on their last album singing on a song, and I mean the band's been around since the 90s, like 94, 95, something like that. It's like 30 years for these chicken heads.
It's totally new to me.
Oh wow. Well, the alter ego of one of the members was in the Undead Kennedys also. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Wow. See, yeah, so much cool stuff. Should we take it all the way back for a minute?
All the
Should we
way
start?
back
Should
to
we start at the
Richmond,
beginning?
Virginia.
Is that where you were you born in Richmond?
No.
No,
I
where were you born,
Long
Tim?
Island.
Oh, that's
Mineola.
right. Right, you're a New Yorker like me. I forgot
Yes, I
about that.
grew up in the beautiful town of Northport.
Yeah. So I lived for 2 years in Dix Hills, and I worked at the Walt Whitman Mall in Huntington.
I went there all the time.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
Huntington, yes. My grandparents lived in Huntington, so
Yeah. Well, I worked there at one point in that mall.
I remember seeing Oliver, the movie, the musical, and Oliver Reed scared me to death.
Yeah, I don't know
I was
anything
like
about
4
that
years
one.
old.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
Is it a monster movie?
No, it's a musical about Oliver Twist.
And it scared you?
Oliver Reed did.
Who's Oliver Reed?
Oliver Reed. Have you ever seen Tommy?
The Who?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie by Ken
Um,
Russell.
yeah, I've seen the movie Tommy.
He's the father.
Okay, it's been a minute.
He's
It's
not
been a
the
minute.
real father of
I
Tommy.
remember Elton John and a bunch of other people, but that movie scared me actually, Tommy, when I was a kid. There's some images in there that were pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it blew my mind when I saw it as a kid.
Yeah, you know what I never did get to see though, and I have to rectify that is Quadrophenia.
Mm,
Although
I don't know. I'm not really that big of a fan of Quadrophenia.
really, you don't. I mean, I think it's better than the. As an album, I think it's better than Tommy.
Oh yeah, I do too. But I like the soundtrack to Tommy much better.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And Margaret fan too. So
Gotcha. Who's this guy? Is that you?
me. That's my early artistic talents.
Starting early, yeah.
And my sister.
And this is in Long Island somewhere?
Yes, I believe maybe East Northport. That was the first town we lived in before we moved to Northport.
Nice. Future trivia. Oh yeah, from the future, of course. We're very sci-fi here tonight. The Dark Shadows shirt, you're getting a thumbs up for your shirt.
The best TV show ever made.
You know, I gotta admit, I know what it is, but I've never watched it.
It's a soap opera that's completely insane.
There's like hundreds of episodes, aren't there?
Yeah, I've watched about 900 of them.
Yeah, are they all like actually out somewhere? Because I know.
Yes, yeah, you can find them on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
But I used to pay $50 for a box set.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was, and you only got like 20 episodes per box.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Like, I knew at some point like all of them have not been released or like officially, or there was lost episodes or something like that. I'm not sure.
Maybe there's one or two lost ones. I think they resurrected through some telecine from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Telecine was when they would just take a film camera and shoot the TV to record.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because there wasn't VCRs back then, so it's a little harder to archive, I would imagine.
Well, it was all shot on videotape, but
right. I mean, from the home audience.
There were VCRs. People had them that were very rich.
Right. Yeah. So a couple people. Yeah, but were those rich people watching the lowbrow shows? That's the question.
Yeah, the people in Hollywood loved it.
Yeah. Was it a big hit in Hollywood?
Polanski had one.
So maybe Polanski's got the archive somewhere.
I doubt it.
No. What do we got here?
Yeah, there I am, 3 years old in Fiji.
Oh, wow. So you were traveling early, huh?
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of it. And
Right. Yeah.
my father had a plan to move the family to Australia.
Oh, wow. Did
He
that ever
sold the
happen?
house.
Did you ever make it to Australia?
Oh yeah, we went all over Oceania.
Nice.
But my dad didn't realize that. Well, it's very difficult for a non-citizen to get work,
Hmm. Gotcha.
so moved back.
And then you're a hockey player?
Yes, this is when I moved up to near Syracuse.
Oh, yeah, that's right. See, we have that in common too. I was born in Canandaigua, and then I lived a little bit in Dryden near Ithaca.
Okay, I played in Ithaca. I played hockey in Ithaca.
Really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
I think it was yes. Ithaca has a big university. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ithaca College, yeah.
Yeah, they had just built some new arena there. So we played in this giant arena when I'm 12 years old. It's
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
Nice. I think I've gotten these in roughly chronological
I didn't
order.
send them in
So
order because
no, I know you didn't. I had to like, well, he looks very young here.
yeah,
So yeah, we're
8.
we're doing our best. And trust me, the really
My,
good stuff's about to come up.
my first little league team in Northport. And you know, this baseball diamond was about 2-minute walk from my home.
Oh, that's convenient. Was
And
this
the other direction was the Long Island Sound, another 2 minutes the other way.
There you go.
So it was really wonderful growing up there.
Is this before the hockey?
Yes, I'm 8. I am in the bottom row in the center, the smallest kid there
Yeah.
with the baseball hat turned backwards.
Do you still play any sport?
Yeah, I do fitness. That's about it. There's no baseball in Thailand.
Yeah.
I play catch with my girlfriend.
There you
That's
go.
about it.
When did you move to Thailand? I'm skipping
2012,
around now. Okay.
June 6th, 2012. I picked
Nice.
that date, June 6th, 2012.
June 6th, 2012.
Yes.
And
Get it? It's 6666.
oh, I did not get it. See, I need you to explain everything to me. Brain rot.
My condo number is 606.
It's close.
So I put some tape to
Yeah.
extend the zero.
Duct tape fixes everything. I've learned that from green jelly.
It's actually just masking tape.
Masking tape.
Masking tape.
That works as well. What's this?
This is back in Western New York. We lived on a farm, and that was an amazing time. My sister had a horse, and that's me and my sister on the horse. I think my mom is hiding in the background there.
Oh,
And
it's like an
there's
Easter egg.
her lovely AMC Hornet.
Oh yeah.
We weren't farmers, but we just rented this house until my father could find a more efficient house. But it was amazing because I just learned so much about the world being on a farm.
Yeah, I bet. Was that your horse? Where did the horse come from?
My sister's horse.
Hmm.
We had that horse in Northport too.
Nice. Wow. Okay, now we're getting into some punk rock. So how did you end up in Richmond, Virginia?
I went to art school studying art.
You went to the famous what was it, VCU?
Yes. I got to meet some incredibly creative people.
Yes, this is the meat of the story, but it may not be a long I don't know.
But that last picture, anybody wants to know, that's me and John Stab from Government Issue.
Right. So I'm guessing this is around that time. The punk rock is happening. What is this, like 1985 or something like that, probably?
Yeah, it's like 84.
84. Okay, yeah. So punk rock
I think
is.
the Crucifix played that night too.
Nice. Do you remember what venue this is?
PB Kelly's.
Oh, okay. That's famous in the GWAR story.
Yeah, so famous for the other band, Armpit. We had the run of the club on every Tuesday.
Should we talk about armpit? That's my next slide, anyways.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so what is this like? Is this the entry point into this whole story? Kind of. Did you live at the dairy? What like? How did this
We
happen?
recorded this at the dairy.
Yeah.
There was some hippie that ran the dairy at that time, and he didn't like me, so
Oh.
I didn't
Oh,
live
no.
at that dairy. So, and it was always a pain in the ass to get in there. But the drummer from Death, Biggie Sean Sumner, lived there, and the Alternatives had a practice space there, I believe. So
I'm sure.
and this is before the slave pit too.
Yeah,
so.
this specifically recorded here July 1st, 1985.
Yes.
And what was armpit? What did you sound like? And which guy is you?
What guys? Me, I'm the pain. Tone deaf.
Tone deaf. The pain. Did you do this artwork as well?
Yes.
Nice. I love this. I want to put out cassettes that look like this.
Yeah, I drew it on some paper, and my dad actually had it color Xerox for me at work.
Okay, nice. And then wait, let me get my trusty family tree out here and see where you are here. We got blah blah blah, Mud Helmet, The Guilty, Armpit, Tim
Yeah.
Herrman vocals, Dave Brocky guitar, Jim Thompson drums, Chris Bopst bass, Greg Ottinger guitar, and Huey Butler also on vocals. Everyone else but Harry definitely ended up
We
in
had
GWAR.
two singers too. There was a guy named Huey that was the second singer. So we had two of everything.
Oh, Huey, yes, Huey.
And we never practiced. Everything was improvisational thrash. We all followed Jim Thompson's beat. And when he went fast, we went to thrash. When he slowed down, the other guys just did something. And Brocky had a magic touch to finding guitars at yard sales for really cheap electric guitars. And he would smash a guitar every show.
Oh, wow. That's definitely very Who of him.
It was great.
Circling back to the Who, right? How many shows did you play, and did you also improvise this entire tape?
Yes, it was recorded on a little, box handheld recorder.
Oh wow!
With me singing into it and then pulling it out to hear the band.
Oh no! That sounds terrible.
No, those microphones and those little box recorders were really great.
Really? Well, yes. Tim, I have some good and bad news for you.
What's that?
I got in touch with Jim today, and he has the tape. So we found the armpit tape. The bad news. Yeah, the bad news is he couldn't get it transferred in time for this show, but we will have armpit for you very soon. So we are preserving the history. We found it.
40 years since I heard that tape.
Yeah, what happened to your copy?
I got lost. When I was living in New York, I moved out in a rush and left a lot of things behind.
Yeah.
In fact, I left some movies behind that really upset me. Movies I made.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oof. There's no other see that I'm sort of an archivist and a documentarian, as you all know as well. And so hearing these kind of stories just hurt my soul.
Yeah, well.
But hey, we found armpit, so there's some silver lining.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And for anyone,
Jim said he was going to release it on 80-gram vinyl.
Oh, well, maybe now that he has an impetus to transfer it, maybe that'll happen now.
Yeah, it'd be really
he does
cool.
have his little record label and everything. Jim Thompson, old guest of the show, and I guess this band you could just say became the Alternatives, basically, right? The three of them?
No. The Alternatives were already happening before.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
And there was another band that also signed to SST called, what are they called? Always August, but they were called Black Pyramid when they were when I knew them, and nobody showed up for the Armpit show, and Always August was going to play, and come on, play in the band, and Always August is a combination of Black Flag and Grateful Dead.
How did, like, that was the description of their sound?
Yeah, very much.
Did they record anything?
They're not as extreme as Black Flag, but they put out 2 albums.
Okay.
On SST.
Yeah.
Do you know SST?
Yeah, of course. That's Greg Ginn's label.
Yeah. So he grabbed 2 bands from Richmond.
Okay. Was there any GWAR members in that band? No.
Oh yeah, of course. And Always August? No.
Yeah. No, of course, Armpit. Like pretty much all of you ended up in GWAR, except Huey. I've never heard that name before.
Huey Butler.
Yeah, did he ended up in any other bands, or did you end up in any other bands? Were you in any other bands?
Yeah, we had this other band called the Nazi Killers.
You were in the Nazi Killers.
Yeah.
With Dave as well, right?
Yeah.
What was that band? Can you describe that band? Who was in that?
I was thinking about that last night. I'm going, because it was usually Death Piggy, okay?
Yeah.
But me and Brocky were both singing, okay? He wasn't playing an instrument. So I'm trying to remember if Chris Bopes was playing bass. It might have been, because that was the first GWAR show in Richmond. The
PB Kelly's one, right?
No. Everybody says that. I don't know why. But
it was like
Going Bananas.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. Let me go back to my trusty thing here. Let's see. Yes, actually, according to this, there was one before that at the 930 Club, and then Going Bananas.
Yes, 930 Club. That was a funny.
Was that the Suicidal Tendencies one?
Yes.
You were there?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about
presentation of GWAR.
Yeah, please tell me about the first GWAR show.
The intro was from Buffalo, from Cleveland. Let's get down to some kick him in the teeth while he's down. Rock and roll, heavy metal.
Yo, I can just picture it right now. So were you a character yet, or you were just there introducing
I
them?
was Sluggo then.
You were Sluggo back? Okay, so you did a couple shows. So you're listed.
Well, I don't want to talk about, but
oh, come on, we got to talk about it, right?
No, I was shit faced, so I really don't remember it, and I never want to see the video of it. So
there's a video. Is that?
Yeah, it was at Flood Zone.
Yeah, because that's the one you're listed under here, and that's the only one I know about. I guess because. Well, we know, I don't know. Can I say like what I know about it? Do you want to not hear about it at all?
I had people come up and say, "You're really funny."
Well, I don't know I don't even know what happened.
Saying the next day, you're exiled from the slave pit.
Well, maybe let's go back. Like let's lead up to that. Tell me about the start of GWAR and your role in it.
Well, it was we were over at Brocky's house, and I believe Russ was living there too. And Dave started talking about this guy had these costumes like Road Warrior, and he said we should make like some rock band, heavy metal band. I was like, cool. And I sat down with a pen and paper and wrote the song called "You Ain't Shit Till You Learn How to Rock."
You wrote that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's a classic.
Showed it to Russ, and he came up with a riff, and that was the first GWAR song.
Wow, you wrote the first GWAR song. I did not know that, and it ended up on their first record too. So it's yeah.
Hello.
yeah.
But anyway, so we went from we went over and met Hunter at the dairy, and Hunter was really into wrestling. So he said, we need to learn like wrestling, pull punches moves. And they had this room in the dairy with just mattresses on the floor. And we had this video camera, and we'd go up there and pretend like we're pulling punches or throwing punches, real punches, but pulling them, and it was a cool exercise. I mean, I
Yeah.
never ended up using it in GWAR, but
Right. Wait, who has these tapes?
I don't know. Maybe Hunter.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah, I could ask him. And then tell me about the first show with Suicidal Tendencies.
Well, it was really a Death Piggy show,
Right.
opening up for Suicidal, but that's when we decided to premiere it.
Yeah.
And after I said my introduction, and the audience just
And you had the mohawk and everything, or tell me about.
I wore a cowboy hat.
Oh, really? That was the
Yeah.
original Sluggo look with a cowboy hat?
Yes, I wore a plastic cowboy hat and this pink sports coat with leopard skin lapels.
There's probably going to be a toy of that soon if John Poppy's here.
Yeah, great. Wish I
So-
still had the jacket.
Did you? Yeah, let me ask you about this character, because this is the stupid niche-y shit that I love to talk about. Did you create this character, and how did that come about? And was the name
No,
always De La
It was
Martini?
out of Rocky's mind to put me in the band, and that's the way he wanted to do it. So he came up with the name Sluggo, and I came up with the costume, and went from there. I really didn't do much.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I figured this.
write the song.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, I contributed to what we were doing. I went to a thrift store and found a hobby horse.
Oh, okay. I've seen that. Yeah.
And so we're doing this show at 9:30 Club, and we had this the singer who was not Brocky and it was not
Ben
Joey.
Eubanks, right?
Ben Eubanks.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we found
I
Ben.
gotta
Yeah.
find that. I haven't
Yeah,
seen. I love.
You got to
Ben.
go through my archive. I'll go deep on this thing.
That was one of the movies I lost. Is a movie I made with Ben.
Really? Tell me about that.
It was great. It was just he just did these improvisational things, and we'd do it for like a minute, and then I'd take the camera someplace else, and we'd set up, and he'd do another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. Did he ever tell you the story about? He used to work for some greeting company, and he would go into factories dressed in a superhero costume.
What?
Well,
No.
Hey, how you doing?
Did he have a superhero name?
No, he said he didn't have one. It was just a stupid costume, and he'd walk around. How you doing? I'm glad you're working here.
No, I haven't heard that one.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ben is up there singing, and we were doing a cover of Cold Gin.
Really? The Kiss song, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
and it's changed to Say 10.
Oh.
And Ben takes it, Johnny Slutman.
Right.
He takes a sip off of a beer and he gets electrocuted by the microphone. So then we do this worship sacrifice ceremony, and we bring out Scott Crawl brought out the hobby horse, and we cut the bottom out and put this blood pack in there and sacrificed it and brought Johnny Slutman back to life. And
all over the monitors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the story. That's the famous story.
Yeah, the 9:30 just flipped out. And we're down in the dressing room after the show, and they're like, "Yeah, what did you?" And then Suicidal went up to play, and we drank all their beer.
Ah,
Left.
that's great.
So,
Whatever happened to that band, anyways? Whatever.
actually, they played in Richmond like 2 nights later, but I didn't go to see them. And everybody said they were really great, but that show at 9:30, they were just dull. They were just
Really? They weren't very good. Did they have institutionalized yet?
Oh yeah, their first record just came out. They had a new guitarist. Rocky was playing with them.
It's really the only song I know. I'm really basic with Suicidal.
But they were really cool. We hung out and talked with them.
So they weren't mad at you, just the club?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
First GWAR show.
the first GWAR show. Wow. Who else? Let me think. Like, what else do you like? This is what I love. The first GWAR show. Like, what else? I guess the way Do you know if Mike Bishop was there? Was he there? No.
No, Mike played in this other band.
The
I can't remember
Guilty.
what this band was called.
The
I think
Guilty?
Pledge Allegiance.
Oh, really? I don't know. Wait.
What does the
see.
chart say?
Yeah, let's go back to my trusty little thing here.
The family tree.
Yes, the tree from the Book of Lies. Well, I know the Guilty, so where does the Guilty go up to?
Yeah, it's probably it. The Guilty.
Unseen Force. Yeah. And of course Capone.
But there was another band that used to play with called Pledge Allegiance.
Okay.
And I remember me and Brocky go to see Mike Bishop in this band, The Guilty, and we're like, look at that guy. He's a fat bass player.
Yeah.
We got to get him in a band.
Yeah. Because the
That
way
was
yeah.
incentive.
I know he was at least some of the first GWAR shows because the way he tells the story is that you mostly just stood around like banging your instruments, talking about how cool you were and not really playing songs. How accurate is that description?
What? I mean, there was only 3 GWAR shows I was involved in.
Yeah.
Okay. And, but there was only 2 in Richmond. So there was the Going Bananas show. And that was a great show.
Let's see who was in that one.
That was just Death Piggy with Ben singing.
Let's see. Sean, Chris, Dave, Ben Eubanks. Yep.
And then I remember Chris playing then. But there was a thing going on with Brocky wanted to play guitar in Death Piggy. So
you mean in GWAR?
Yeah. No, there was a short in Death Piggy.
Oh, okay.
And there's a short period where Chris was playing bass.
Right. Yeah.
But, probably about this time. So I don't know why I don't because this was like very shortly after the 9:30 Club show.
Mm-hmm. And so, what can we talk about? The last show that you did. What can we say about it?
Armpit opened up.
Armpit opened up.
That was the biggest crowd I've ever sung to.
The only thing I heard is that they like left you on the side of the road or something. Is that true?
I don't know. I remember Don was my roommate at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting I was back at home and I was watching Funhouse on TV. And then the GWAR ad came on.
Oh, really?
So I guess they showed the GWAR ad 2 nights or they showed it too late. It was after the show.
Right. And that's all you remember? You don't remember the show?
I remember it was Armpit.
Okay.
But, you know, just pounding down beers before then. And I was just like, and probably not eating.
Right.
Like, you don't know when the blackout is going to happen to me, that is.
Mm-hmm. And were you, okay, let me ask you about this. Were you involved with like Hunter trying to make the movie at all and all that kind of nonsense?
No, actually, I wrote a movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tell me about your movie.
It was based on Aguirre, The Wrath of God. Do you know the Werner Herzog film?
No, I'm not familiar.
It's one of the greatest movies ever made with Klaus Kinski.
Noted that. Okay.
But it's about these conquistadors invading South America during like the 17th century, and they're searching for this mystical or mythical city of El Dorado, the city of gold, and they get stuck on this river, and they just keep going down the river on this raft till everybody starts dying off. Anyway, so I took some of that idea and I had GWAR pushing this giant cooler through these, like, because
like in the costumes and everything.
Yeah, and Aguirre takes place in the jungles in Peru, I think. And anyway, and have them pushing this giant cooler through the woods of Richmond down by the James River.
Does this film still exist?
Oh no, we never made it. Don
Oh, okay.
Draculage has the storyboards I did for it.
Oh, wow.
So they're pushing the cooler down, and one of them like actually tumbles it down. So it's full of beer. And they lose all the beer. So the head guy in GWAR, this was going to be played by somebody else, not anybody in GWAR. Wes Freed, who was in Mud Helmet,
Okay.
Drone 13, and he looked just like Klaus Kinski. And after the guy tumbles the cooler down, he takes an axe and cuts off his head, and then they end up in the city, and they find 7-Eleven, and they steal all the beer, and people are running at them, and they're cutting them up, and finally they get hit by a car.
What did you call this? Did you have a name for it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sure, I had a name, but yeah, Don Draculage says he still has the storyboards I did.
Okay. So do you still talk to him at all? Not really.
I tried to say something to him when he was on YouTube doing his show, but he never responded. But you know, it's hard to do on these
well, half of his show is just him trying to figure out what he's doing on the show. I love Don's show. I'll watch it. You know, his GWAR one, I watch him talk about GWAR, and if anyone talks about GWAR, I'll watch it. Yeah, Don was the second episode of this podcast.
Great.
We talked for like 4 hours or something.
Incredibly talented man.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Too.
And then he took your identity, sort of. Do you want to tell me about that? And you were living with him at also?
Yeah, but I left. I moved to New York. I just saw, Richmond as a dead end, and it's like I wanted to make movies, and it was like I need to get out of here.
Right.
So I went to school and at the new school.
And then Sleazy P. Martini was born.
Yeah, I thought it was great. He did a fantastic job.
Of course.
I wasn't much. I just did the introduction. At that last show at Flood Zone, I had this big bag of powdered sugar that I was throwing around.
Well, I figure so. You are in one GWAR video. GWAR Must Be Destroyed, right?
No, not in any.
Are you sure? Can we watch it? Let's do a little commentary maybe and see.
If it's a Flood Zone show, I don't want to see it, dude.
Well, it's it's a short film that Hunter made about GWAR, and you're definitely. I mean, it's just a clip of you on stage. It probably is from that show.
Okay.
All right.
Like I said, I don't remember it.
Yeah. Well, if anything comes to mind have you ever seen this?
No.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, we're going to get a genuine reaction, I guess, if you're okay with that.
Yeah. Well, just remember, I've been sober for 26 years. So.
Well, that's good to know. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you know Ted Sanderson?
It doesn't ring a bell. I remember Bob Slob.
Yeah, I've heard about him. That's where the word Bohab came from. Bohab, the Slowhab, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. It was like Pig Latin.
Okay. Yeah, that's a show for Flood Zone.
Yeah, that's it, right? So, this is Joe Anaroma, right? Did you know him as well?
Yeah, it's a great guy.
He'll be a guest. He will be on this show. Just saying that. There's you, right?
No, that's not me.
That's not you?
No.
Who's that? Is that not Sluggo P. Martini? Or Sluggo de la Martini?
No, it's not me.
Oh,
like I said, I wore this like pink sport coat with leopard skin lapels.
You have no idea who this guy is?
No.
Wow. I thought that was you because that's like
this is the Flood Zone show.
Well, I don't know what show it's from,
because the Flood Zone show, they had this guy that did neon, and he made this little silly like mountain landscape that they had in the background.
Because like I don't know if you've seen the flyer that I made, but like that's the character that they
I was wondering
portray.
why you got a mohawk on me. I
Well,
did have
yeah,
a mohawk at one time, but not
because I
then.
believe that's the character right there. I thought that was you, and that unless somebody else also played Sluggo for a show.
Some of them involving
Wow, so you have no idea. I'm stumped.
manipulation,
This is like a
Earth
that's
creatures,
interesting.
and their
Does anyone in the chat know what's going on in this video? No, but they want it. They want armpit. They will. There is a market for armpit in this room.
Spreading the gospel.
Okay. Well, so I guess let me see. I also had since there's no photos of you that I know of in Guar, right?
There is a cartoon that or a comic that Hunter made with me in it.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I don't
Yes.
have that readily available. But
Not
is
very
this is a toy made of this character that our fan
well, I'm
John Puppy
wondering
here.
how you got D La Martini. I was only Sluggo Martini.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Let me see. Where is it? This is a card in the official Guar game. So this comes straight from the band, Sluggo de la Martini, which I thought the de la was new. I had never heard that before. This came out
I think-
like during the pandemic.
Well, I think as soon as I left, Don came up with the idea of Sleazy because Don his first show was at that Flood Zone show, and he was dying to be in the band.
Oh yeah,
and he made
sure.
this fake arm that would spew blood out, and he went up and he's the biggest GWAR fan. He went up and shook their hand, and they pulled it out of his arm. And
right, yeah, that I've heard that story before. Yeah, he's the first. I mean, there is video of that. I think it's in the documentary.
Yeah.
Did you see the documentary?
Which documentary?
You know, there's a documentary about GWAR.
Which one? I thought they
Which
were all
one? It's on Shudder.
I've only seen Malice and Phallus in Wonderland.
No, that's a movie they made a couple years ago. They come out with a,
which I thought was really good. I would like to know who Orson Swelles is.
Distortion Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Hunter, and I think that's just a mix of people. I don't know if those movies really had solid directors. I was
really impressed by it.
Grammy nominated, Phallus in Wonderland.
Afterwards.
Yeah. No, there's a documentary about GWAR that came out a couple years ago. 2001 maybe? Like really recent, like within the last 2 or 3 years.
20 years ago, 2001.
I mean 2021.
Oh, okay. No, I never heard of it.
It's on Shudder.
I'm surprised Jameson didn't tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised he didn't tell you about it. Hold on, let me reach for it. I'll show it.
Tell me more.
I have to stand up, so I'm gonna full screen you for a minute. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, Jameson was not really in it at all, so I'm not surprised that he didn't say anything about it. And he will also be on this show at some point. That's the plan. All right, I gotta navigate through my toys. Hold on.
I met him for the first time last year. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, tell me. I mean, that's at the end of my slideshow somewhere. But how did that come about? Did you know him at all?
Well, Andrew sent me a message on Facebook.
Whoops.
And said, "Yeah, I'll be in Bangkok tomorrow." He was already in Cambodia or something.
And remind me what Andrew's role is exactly.
He helped set build and stuff like that.
Okay.
He's a carpenter.
I took his picture a couple of weeks ago, and I knew he had something to do with the band, but I wasn't quite sure what. I knew I recognized him.
He's an old-time punk rock stalwart from Richmond.
Yeah.
As long as I lived there.
This is GWAR. This is the documentary.
Is Sly Minster even in it?
Oh yeah, she's in it. Yep. There's the DVD. Shudder exclusive GWAR documentary. You want to watch the trailer?
Sure.
Let's see. This is interesting that like, because I know like you're like, I say this lovingly because I love this kind of stuff, but you're definitely a footnote in this story. And it's like interesting to me, like how much you follow up, with the band and everything.
Kind of left out of the story too. So
There may be a line about you in the documentary. I forget.
but I also made the first GWAR shirt too.
Oh, really? Do tell me about that.
Well, I used to make these shirts with magic markers. Just take a white T-shirt and draw on it, and I made the first GWAR shirt. It wasn't GWAR. It was GAAARRRGH.
Mm-hmm.
And on the back had a pentagram with the hobby horse decapitated.
Is there a picture of that anywhere, or is that like, does that exist somewhere?
But I was in Roy Rogers one time. I was about ready to go to New York, I think.
Okay.
And I was with my father eating at Roy Rogers, and these like three girls just came up to, oh, what's that shirt? Wow.
Nice. It wasn't all bloody from the show or anything?
No, I never wore it. We didn't
okay.
have much blood.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing.
We had Caro syrup, and that's what screwed up the monitors.
Right. All right. You want to do a reaction to the trailer? This is interesting to me.
Sure.
All right.
If you enjoy the music of Barry Manilow, Liberace, or the Bee Gees, then you're going to hate GWAR.
Their name is GWAR, and GWAR, the band from hell.
That band, GWAR, has got to be the raunchiest, most rotten band. They are the worst.
Basically, they're barbarian interplanetary warriors who play heavy metal music and shoot various bodily fluids all over the audience.
GWAR was a big, violent, sexual, theatrical rock show.
It's performance art, but it's this performance art that doesn't take itself seriously.
They were the scumbag of the universe, banished to the shittiest planet they could come to. That's the thing?
Your act has been described as obscene and disgusting. What do you say to that?
Very accurate.
What you're not seeing is what's going on behind that stage that's making this whole show work, and it's people frantically working their asses off the whole time.
It's an artist collective.
GWAR is a group of people that are determined to make art together.
And they make everything themselves. When something needs to be done, they just pick it up and get it done.
GWAR has never been famous, but we've had these little nibbles of fame.
Alice in Wonderland gets nominated for a Grammy, and we're just all thinking, man, somebody really fucked up.
We're going to start making movies and comics, and we're going to be a punk rock Disney. But it's also where it all fell apart to a degree. It was a little bit destructive. I just didn't see the story having a happy ending.
Chaos has been what's made this band move forward.
You don't do GWAR because you want to get famous. You do GWAR because you fucking love it.
It's like the world needs a GWAR.
It was a joke, and we just kept going with it. It's like jokes on everyone else now, 30 years later, It's a joke with no punchline.
Most amazing, cataclysmic rock and roll event of the century, ladies and gentlemen. This is GWAR.
You wrote the first song for a band that has a documentary now.
Oh, that's cool. Because what Danielle said, it's so true. It's like, it was a joke.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
it was a joke at the first show with Suicidal Tendencies, and I was gonna go to the thrift store and get all these Carpenter singles and stuff like that, and then spray paint a stencil of GWAR, the name, on top of the 45 and sell it at the show.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's
a good idea. But everybody was like, "Man, you're gonna ruin people's needles."
Well, play at your own risk, I suppose.
And my name for the first album was called Asshole. And
what do you mean? Which first album?
Before they ever had a record. This is before Hello. And I was sitting around with Brocky, and I'm like, yeah, we should call it Asshole and have a reflective cover. So when people pick it up, they see themselves, asshole fuckers.
That's good. Well, are there any other like sit around and fuck around with Dave ideas that you remember that like never came to fruition, or that did come to fruition that we don't know about?
He added this song called Fish Fuck to the GWAR repertory, which is an armpit song.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, they're playing that on tour right now.
Really? What are the lyrics to it now?
Fish fuck. Well, it's on one of their albums from the.
Well, the first line was "You ringworm whore."
No. Fish fuck, baby, I'm gonna fuck
And
you
it
with a
goes
fish.
on, and the punchline at the end is, "Why are you my mother?"
Why are you my mom? Yeah, that made it. Yeah, I mean they released that in like 1999.
Yeah, I remember seeing them one time. I was like, wow, they're playing Fish Fuck.
Yeah, they're playing it on this tour right now. Like they're probably playing it tonight. So that wait,
amazing.
did you have anything to do with writing that song?
Yeah, I'm sure me and Brocky threw it together.
Yeah.
Me and Brocky split the difference on the armpit songs.
Right. Yeah.
All very offensive.
Well, of course. Yeah, I saw some of the names on that tape. Yeah.
We even had the armpit theme song.
Oh yeah, what's the lyrics to that?
We know we're drunk, and so are you.
Nice.
I can't remember. Actually, Huey wrote this song. Huey Butler wrote this song. I Saw the Pope.
Why is I Saw the Pope?
Song.
Why is that on here twice?
Probably because I screwed up when I was writing. Or maybe we do go from into gay rape back into I Saw the Pope. I can't remember. A long time since I heard this tape.
We're gonna find out. I think hopefully we'll have a transfer of this at some point.
Like I said, we were just in the dairy in this practice space, and we just kept going and going and going.
Yeah. So there was Armpit, the Nazi Killers. Did the Nazi Killers ever record anything?
It's funny. When I moved to New York, I was at the show at CBGB's, I think going to see Cro-Mags, and I'm hanging out front.
I saw Cro-Mags at CBGB's once.
Really?
Yeah, definitely not that show, but they opened for the Bad Brains the last week it was open, and I was there.
Yeah, they were really great. This is in '86.
Yeah, I was too.
Anyway, I'm hanging out outside, and this guy comes along, and he's selling these tapes, Tex and the Nazi Killers. I'm like, dude, tell him about having this band, the Nazi Killers, but GWAR was not known, or Death Piggy was not known outside of the Richmond and DC area.
Yeah,
so,
not
I kept talking to him about it, and he gave me a tape for free. I don't know what it sounded like. It was kind of like cowpunk.
That makes sense. Yeah, like the Dead Milkmen.
Like Tex and the Horseheads.
Tex and the Horseheads. Okay, Texas Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know her?
No, but I knew the guitarist.
Okay.
Which I can't even remember his name anymore.
So, their drummer.
Like a producer.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know her. I actually was looking her up like yesterday to possibly reach out to her about the documentary because she has a lot of intersect with Haunted Garage, including their drummer Johnny Hell was in her band for a while. So
they played in Richmond once.
Yeah.
Shame,
with GWAR?
There was some what?
With GWAR?
No, I can't remember with who. And she was really drunk too. She's like laying on the stage singing the songs.
I bet.
But not as cool as what was it? The Exploited. This one show in Richmond, and Waddy's doing the Roger Daltrey with the mic, and he just cold cocks the bass player, and he's down and out, and he's kicking him. Come on, bloke, get up!
Wow, that's punk rock.
Yeah, very exciting band. I saw them with the Chrome Gen.
Chrome Gen. That
doesn't. Oh no, it was the UK Subs.
UK Subs. Okay, so it was a bunch of UK punks invading Richmond, huh?
But it was a weird show. That wasn't the show where he cold cocked the bass player. It was another show, and it was at Going Bananas, and most of the people there were from DC. There wasn't a lot of Richmond people there.
Interesting.
I don't even think Brocky was there.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard the story about psychodrama?
Tell me about Psycho. No, I don't think so.
Psychodrama was a bunch of very deranged individuals that had this very strange band. They all lived on a goat farm. And randomly, maybe once a year, they come out and play a show, and it's just completely insane. They had these tape loops going, and this guy screaming in the microphone, this other guy taking a high heel shoe and shoving it up his ass, and that was like
was
really
this one
crazy.
of Dave's bands or just something else?
Oh no, they lived on a goat farm.
I figured that was just a story. They really lived on a goat farm?
Yeah, I used to know a guy that played keyboards with them.
Wow.
And one of the guys in the band wrote this really threatening letter to Gerald Ford.
Okay.
You don't want to do that, because the feds came to his house and ripped it apart and stuff.
Huh. Wow. No, I never heard about them. That was and they were from Richmond?
I don't know exactly where they were from, but my friend that played in the band, he was from Northern Virginia at the time. Actually, I think he was living in Richmond at that time. I can't remember which place he was living at. Eric Utter.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to him.
So I wish there was a better quality of this, but tell me about this right here.
Yes, Schaefer Court.
Oh, that's at Schaefer Court. Okay.
Yes, and Brocky on the left, me in the middle, and rest in peace, Wes Freed.
You said this is your only photo with Dave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a lot of us had a camera.
Yeah, I hear that.
I had a movie camera. That's what I had.
Right.
And Brocky was in almost every one of the movies I made.
And are those all lost, or do you have some of those still?
I have some of them, but they were shot on Super 8, and it's very difficult to get a decent transfer of it.
Have you tried?
Yeah, I had somebody do it one time, and it's just not impressive.
Yeah, but we want all the scraps we can get, especially now that he's gone.
A couple of them are in America, but it was an incredible time, because Brocky ignited this creativity in everybody that was involved with him. So it was creativity 24/7.
Yeah,
no matter what we were doing, we were drawing, we were painting, we were writing a song, we were making movies, and it's just amazing time.
Can you tell me about more about any of these movies?
Yeah, sure. The first one we did was called Getting Ahead, and Brocky was messing with me one day and telling me this story about this place called Oregon Hill, and they found these decapitated heads in the trash cans in there. It's like, really? What? And so then I wrote this movie about these two idiots getting drunk and chasing each other through the alley and knock over this trash can, and this decapitated head comes out. All done to Herb Albert.
To what?
Herb Albert.
Herb Albert. Okay, like the Tijuana brass band?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the first movie we made together.
Wow.
But another one of my favorites is one called Nobody. Because, we would get together on Saturday and just go, I have a roll of film. Let's go out and shoot something. We just make it up on the spot.
Yeah.
And this movie, Nobody, is we would go to different locations, and Brocky had this big trench coat on, and I say, lay down in the alley there.
Was he naked underneath? Because I've heard about him in those trench coats.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Anyway, we'd do this setup with him laying down like he's dead or something, and somebody would come along and steal one of his clothing items, and then it would go to black, and then we'd see the body someplace else, and somebody else would come along and steal another item of clothing, till finally it's some guy comes along and he's like going to his zipper, and then we cut. But it's all done to Petulia Clark's downtown.
So you're basically making these like little music videos.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's like I wanted some accompaniment.
Sure. Yeah.
And I love Petulia Clark, so I listened to one station in Richmond. It was called W. Lee.
What's that? It's like easy listening.
AMs. yeah, AM station that played really lounge music.
Mhm.
You know, I guess Petunia Clark's not really lounge music, but they played Dean Martin and Sinatra and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I long time ago given up on regular radio. So
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see what we got on this slideshow.
we did make an
Oh.
epic.
Oh, tell me about the epic. What's the epic?
It's called Sicko.
Okay.
And Russ Boharski stars, and this lovely woman named Amy Olds plays Alice, and it's my version of Alice in Wonderland. And the character of Russ lives down at the bottom of down in Shockoe Bottom, in this abandoned building, and you follow into his room, and his walls are just covered with these pornographic pictures. And he goes to this stack of Playboys and Penthouse and Hustlers and pulling them out. And then he finds Alice in Wonderland, and he sits down and he starts to read Alice in Wonderland. And you see his interpretation of Alice in Wonderland. And then we cut to Belle Island. Do you know what Belle Island is?
I don't. What's Belle Island?
It was a Civil War prisoner of war camp.
Okay.
Prison. But it's all abandoned. And we have this Alice. Well, actually, we cut to a golf course with Alice dancing through the golf course in extreme slow motion while the Carpenter is close to you plays. And then she picks up this lollipop and it says, lick me. And she licks it. And then she's in Belle Island. And she's, ooh. And you slowly see the shadows of the White Rabbit. And then you see the White Rabbit has got an axe. And he hunts her down and chops her up.
Wow.
Then Russ looks up from the book and puts the book down. And then you hear a knock on the door, and he opens the door, and it's the rabbit. And then the rabbit chops him up and lifts the mask, and it's Alice.
Oh, wow.
And while the Carpenters plays, we've only just begun.
Was Dave in this one? Just
Dave
Russ?
was the rabbit.
Dave was the rabbit.
Yes, but Dave was kind of a continuous character. What?
We want to see this.
Also, one of my favorite bands I used was Chrome. Chrome did a lot of I added for a lot of the score.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it. That's the only one. I like those three that I just described to you.
Yeah.
They came out pretty good. My teacher, my film teacher, loved it.
At the VCU?
Yeah.
Was that, were you studying, what were you studying there? Film?
You know, I was studying art, but I didn't have the discipline to get through art foundation program. You the first year you take like, I don't know, 30 credits or something like that. And it was like classes start at 7:30 in the morning and you go until 4:30. But I made the mistake of moving to this apartment complex that was like 10 miles away from campus, which was really stupid because you had to take a bus to get there, and I missed the bus all the time. So Brocky had some really good discipline about him, but he also lived on campus.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I discovered making movies, and that's what I wanted to do. So for the next couple of years at VCU, I kind of strung along taking film classes. I didn't really have a major.
Yeah, so I think that let's transition into talking about your film career a little bit. Well, first of all, what's this? What's going on here?
I think that's me, and I think that's Greg Ottinger.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Buttball.
Nice.
That was his name in Armpit.
Oh, I don't know if we can play that one.
Oh, come on.
All right, are we gonna get in trouble with it? What's happening here?
You can barely see it.
I can't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
In the porn business.
Oh, okay.
But I was a gaffer. I was a lighting technician.
Is that
that lovely lady is named Shayla Laveau.
If anyone, you know, I'm just gonna say that is a piece of clothing that looks suspiciously like a body. For anyone asking,
but behind her is a real film. So it's a movie I worked on in the Caribbean, and the lovely lady there is Jamie Luner, and she was just a doll.
Yeah, and what movie was
On
this?
this 8 mile long island called Grand Turk.
Grand Turk. That's the name of the movie or the
No,
location?
that's the name of the island in the
Oh.
Caribbean.
And what was the movie?
It's called Blind Injustice, and she plays a blind girl, and there's this rape scene, and I was a key grip on that, and and while we're doing it, I said, "Well, I brought this mentor shirt with me. I'm going to wear the mentor shirt for the rape scene."
Oh God, yeah. Man.
Nobody got it except for maybe one or two other people on the crew.
Yeah. Take her up to Rape Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
were you friends with Eldon?
A fun time.
Did you know El Duce at all?
Yeah, I met him a couple times in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to Fear was gonna play. They were gonna play at Hollywood Palladium, and a riot broke out.
Oh wow!
So, and I was in front of the Palladium when I ran into El Duce, and I also remember hanging out. He wasn't. It was early in the day, so he wasn't fully far gone. But there was another show that we went to, and it was with Lisa Suckdog. Have you ever heard of her?
No, what's that?
She was supposed to be the Gigi Allen's sister.
Wow, I can't believe I don't know about this. Was it good?
Oh well,
because
Nick Zed
it has to be good too for me to be like really pay attention to it.
Well, Nick Zed was there.
Okay.
Do you know Nick Zed?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, not personally, but because he was in New
York.
You know
who he is? Yes.
Yeah,
anyway,
he was a New York guy, right?
Movies. What?
Wasn't he in New York for a while? Or no?
Yeah, he was there for a long time.
Yeah.
But he was showing movies, and Duchess de Sade played.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, Duchess de Sade was fantastic.
I know.
They all wore strap-ons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Barb once at the Haunted Garage reunion show in 2008 at Safari Sam's.
Yeah, I didn't go to that show.
Oh man, I was there. Yeah, I flew out from New York for it, and they killed me on stage. They chainsawed me.
Fantastic.
And Dinah Cancer was singing on stage at the time with them.
From Mary.
Mary Sims, yeah. I would love to get her in the dark. I'm working on it, but she's been I don't know. She doesn't do that kind of stuff that much anymore, so I got to work on it.
No, this is 45 Graves still playing?
Yeah, they are.
With her?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I mean, they're not like super active, but yeah, they're still out there doing it.
They were a really amazing band when Bowles was in the band. And
That's the other one. I was texting with him today. He is a flaky motherfucker, man. Because I've been trying to get an interview with him for a while. And I'm like, hey, you around? And he's like, probably. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, man?
Yeah, well, some people.
Yeah, no, but I just I want a germ in my movie, man. There's only two of them, and he played a lot with Haunted Garage when he was in Celebrity Skin, especially.
But 45 Grave could have been much bigger back in the early 80s, but they didn't tour.
Oh yeah,
and they only put out singles, and those singles were really impossible to find or high dollar.
Yeah,
and you could only get them in LA. I never saw them on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm still searching for an autopsy LP. If anyone wants to give me one for less than $100.
I've got a digitized one.
Well, me too. I want a physical product. I want the thing.
Who put that out?
God, who knows? I don't know. I wasn't alive at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it on my phone.
Yeah, me too. I got a rip of it, but
I'm trying to think who was doing it at that time.
I mean, I could look it up. Let's see. 45 Grave. I know the cover photo was my friend Edward Culver. Enigma Records. Yeah.
Amoeba Records?
Enigma.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Enigma.
I don't know who owns the rights to that now, because I'd really love a reissue. I don't need an original. I just want it,
Such a great record. And,
Great, yeah.
That's all you get
So
from
punk
them.
rock.
Have you seen them on New Wave Theater?
Yeah, of course. Sure, classic stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Florentine Gardens.
All right, we're going back to your film career because I really love this picture.
This is me and a Bell and Howell. It's a wind camera that will shoot about 1 minute of film before you need to wind it up again.
Is that what you did a lot of your short films on?
No, I didn't have 16. This is 16 millimeter.
Okay.
And this night I was shooting Aesthetic Meat Front.
What's that? Is that a movie?
I sent you a video, the one that says for you have to check in or whatever, it's prove your age.
Oh boy, am I gonna get in trouble if I play it?
I wouldn't play it. I mean,
oh, okay, good. So it's not. Gotcha.
I mean, it's not graphic, or well, it is a little
yeah.
graphic, but you know, these people were into bondage and piercing.
Yeah, sure.
And the video I shot of them was I shot them a second time. This picture is the second time I went to shoot them. But the first one, a friend of mine took me to the show, and I had no idea who they were. I had never heard anything about them, but I had my friend said, "Bring a camera," and I brought this crappy little Canon video camera, and I shot this video. I was like, oh, man. And I was really cutting my teeth on learning my editing skills by doing it because I couldn't really get good stuff. There was a bunch of people in the front with these big Canon XO1s and stuff like that. So I didn't want to go up there and be part of that. So I'm in the background just zooming in a really crappy, shaky zoom. But it actually works because it's a very mysterious band.
Yeah,
but there's lots of videos.
I didn't watch it yet. It's been a busy week. But now I'm very intrigued. And when around what time was this? What year was that about?
This is I think 2003.
Okay, gotcha. So, I don't know. These might be a little out of order, but this is kind of like my film section for you.
Okay. Well, this is me and the magnificent Mary Warnoff.
God,
couldn't be more happy in my life to be able to work with her.
Yeah. Is this what movie was this for?
I Pass for Human, directed by Chris D.
I don't know. I mean, I'm most familiar with Rock and Roll High School, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm a really big fan. You never seen Death Race 2000?
I may have seen that, yeah, but it's not. I'm not very familiar with it.
How about Eating Raoul?
Roger Corman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also heard of. God, that sounds so familiar.
Eating Raoul.
I can't tell. I can't remember if I've seen it or not, but I definitely know the name.
Institutionalized. She's the mother.
Oh, in the suicidal video.
Yeah.
Cool.
Timothy Leary is the father.
I don't even know if I ever knew that. That's crazy. All he wanted was a Pepsi.
Yeah. I don't know who directed that, but it must have been somebody that that big circle of people.
Yeah, well, let me find out. While you talk, let me talk about this photo while I look that up.
Yes, the wonderful Udo Kier, also known as Dracula in Andy Warhol's Dracula and Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, and a couple Rainer Fassbinder's films. I worked with him on 2 different movies. This movie is called Double Deception. And he plays like a gangster, and he wore this big red cowboy hat.
Nice. Who directed that? Do you remember?
I can't remember his name. But I was working for this Japanese production company, but they'd be in America. Yeah, it's Death Race 2000.
Oh, Death Race. Yeah, gotcha.
But anyway, yeah, I was working for this Japanese production company that would bring one person from Japan, one star, well, not really a star, and then some kind of has-been from America and put them in a film together called Pathfinder Pictures.
Yeah, it sounds like the 80s.
This is the late 90s.
Yeah.
But It was an amazing shoot. Because it was just so low budget. We did 30 locations in 30 days.
Wow.
This place that we're at, this is the parking lot, of course, was like this. I don't know what's the Shakespeare Theater, the Round or something like that.
Uh-huh.
The famous Shakespeare Theater in London.
Yeah.
You know
no, I don't really know.
I don't know the name of it, but anyway, it was a strip joint that was based on that.
Okay.
So, and he was the boss of the strip joint.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun movie to me.
And one of our locations was at a drive-in.
Uh-huh.
And we have a shootout in the drive-in.
Nice.
And the drive-in was an active drive-in. And while people are firing off AK-47s, people are driving in to watch the Flintstones.
Oh wow, featuring green jelly in the credits. I gotta circle it back to me and my band, Green Jelly. Not my band, but I've been a member of Green Jelly for 16 years now.
Wow.
You can believe that shit.
The first time I saw GWAR in LA, Green Jelly was at that show. And Henry. Henry was opening up for GWAR.
You're talking about at the Palladium.
Yes.
You know, there's a famous story about that show related to Haunted Garage. Do you know about that?
No, what is it?
Do you know the Haunted Garage song 5 Dead Stage Divers?
Yeah.
That was inspired by that show. Apparently somebody during the GWAR set jumped off of the column speakers, which were like pretty high off the ground, and like nobody caught them and left on a stretcher. And he's like, well, what's better than 1 dead stage divers, 5 dead stage divers? And that's what spawned the song, was that show. Yeah, and Green Jello opened, and a band called Fluid, I believe, which I heard was just terrible. And Henry Rollins, yeah.
I was in the dressing room drinking all of GWAR's beer.
Yeah. Okay, so you were still cool with them at that time and everything.
I've always been cool with them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like there's this mysterious night where you get kicked out of the band, and I don't know, like,
forgive and forget.
Yeah,
it's like I said, I didn't really care. I moved on.
Yeah, I know.
I went out and
I know, but I know some of those guys hold grudges and shit. So who knows?
I never hold a grudge.
That's good to hear.
Just wish I got more credit for you ain't shit till you learn how to rock.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna look up right now while we're thinking about it. Let's see if you're in the credits. Are you in the credits of this thing?
I'm in the credits on that one on the vinyl, but I'm not in the credits on the CD.
Interesting.
And it says special thanks.
Okay. I don't know. Oh God, I don't know if I can even read this. Look at how small this is.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
imagine if you're looking at a CD.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I have it up there too, but I don't think it has songwriting credits in it.
No, it doesn't. It says all songs by GWAR.
Right, and I guess you were technically part of the collective at some point, so that's technically you as well. Yeah, because I love reading the liner notes and see who did what, and
Well, my favorite GWAR song is on that record.
Which one?
Rock and Roll Party.
Rock and Roll Party Town.
Yeah. I wanted to make a video of that so much.
Man. Tell me about that. Did you have an idea? Let me know.
Yeah, with GWAR walking down Main Street and singing that song, and then the postman joins along, and the mailman joins along, and the policeman joins along.
Oh, I love it. If and when they ever re-release that album, there's an idea. Maybe you can still make that video. Would you be interested?
No, I don't like making movies anymore.
Oh, really? You're out of the movie business?
No. I did it for 20 years and was like really burnt out on it.
Can we pass along the concept and maybe someone else can make that for you?
No, I'll make it. Then I'll make it.
Yeah, well, because
no, it'd be great if somebody did it that was competent.
Well,
yeah. Great.
I mean, I would imagine they would hire someone competent at this point in their career.
Who's making their last videos? Who's the director?
That's a good question. I actually don't know who did the last video, but before I forget, it was Bill Fishman who directed the institutionalized video. Do you know him?
No, the name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
But some people are in that commercial and music video circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the DP from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, Daniel Pearl.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He didn't really do much in feature films for a while because he got into making music videos and he made a bank on it.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with him. I worked with him a couple times.
Nice.
He's crazy.
Is there any is there anything in your film career that you're most proud of working on?
Let me think. Equus.
What's that?
The softcore porn that I did with the bass player from the Runaways.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, that's coming up, this whole Runaways thing. Let's see. You sent me this.
But no, I'm really proud of the movies I made with Brocky. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we want to see them.
Yeah, I would love to see him again, too.
Yeah.
Sitting in a Foot Locker at my father's house.
Can we get them sent out to be transferred or what?
Yeah, my father's lazy about sending things out. And complain about it, and they'll tell me I don't need it and all this stuff.
What if we pay for it? What if the GWARPod collects some money to pay for it? Would he and a little extra for him?
Super 8, okay? If it was sent to me here in Thailand, where am I going to find a Super 8 projector?
No, I know, but maybe he can send it out to one of those companies that, in America that does that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe. But I have to redo the soundtracks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty simple. It's one song and that's Film Nobody, and one song and Getting Ahead.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, hey, it's an idea. I'm just thinking, like, obviously as an archivist and making this documentary, it's like I'm just trying to get all that stuff from in the corners of the garages and like before this disappears forever.
This GWAR fanatic, I can't remember his name. He was asking about those movies too.
Mm-hmm. There's an audience here for him.
The one that discovered the Flood Zone tape.
Really?
Yeah, he posted the armpit set too.
On YouTube?
On Facebook, I think.
On Facebook? There's an armpit set on Facebook?
I can't remember this guy's name, but actually, I didn't even know about it. Somebody I was working with said, "Hey, look at this!" on his phone. I'm like, oh my god!
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd pull it up, but I don't know how to look it up.
I know the guy's name who shot it.
Oh yeah, who shot it?
It was Mike Dunning.
Mike Dunning, but he's not the one who posted it.
No, but he was the one with the camera there at that show. Him and somebody else, but I had known Mike Dunning for a long time before GWAR. So,
is he on Facebook, or do you know where he's?
Never looked. I really don't go to Facebook anymore. Yeah. I just use Messenger.
Yeah, I wonder if it's this guy who has got a mutual friend with Tesco V.
The thing is, this guy Mike Dunning, I knew him because he had a excellent Iron Maiden album collection.
Okay.
He had all the imports.
Yeah, right.
That's how I knew him. So, and then I never really saw him much, and then he was all of a sudden at that Flood Zone show.
Yeah, I can't find out who directed the last GWAR video. If anyone knows, it was the Cutter. I don't know who did that one. I mean, maybe the GWAR just did it themselves.
Well, the last one I saw was Carry On Your Wayward Son.
Oh, well, that was just a live thing from what was it?
Looked like it was in
those cover songs. The Classroom? No. Well, that was part of like a series where bands would cover weird songs. Are you thinking of School's Out?
No.
Because they did a video for School's Out.
I know the one
name
that
this
the
last
Scott
name.
Crawl was in a
Yeah,
dress.
yeah, that School's Out.
Oh, I didn't. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I
it's the
remember Carry
Alice
On Your
Cooper
Way
cover.
song.
I don't think that was a music video. That was more of like a live in the studio sort of thing. Yeah, School's Out, Scott Crawl. All right, let me go back to your slideshow here. Oh wait, I wanted to ask about this because you made something about the Runaways.
That's a long story, but yes, Vicky Blue, also known as Victory Teschler Blue, got my name from somebody, and she wanted to shoot some softcore. And I said, well, what's it about? She said, pony play. I'm like, pony play? What's that? She sends me this picture. I'm like, pony play. Wow. Very interesting. And we really became great friends. And then at the same time, she was trying to finance this Runaways documentary.
So this is a documentary.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Joan Jett is not in it.
Everyone else?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this before that Runaways movie about them came out?
Long before it.
I did see that. I never
And
saw a
that's probably
documentary.
what ignited it too, because she probably got it around to a lot of people. It was on Showtime for a while.
Okay, cool. Is it good? Would you recommend it?
It's okay. You know, I saw different cuts of it, and the first cut she showed me was totally linear. It went from a beginning to an end, and it was really great. And she started adding all these editing effects and stuff like that, and I just not as enthralled with it anymore.
Fair, yeah.
It took forever to make, and I think Maurice Gibb was part of the financing.
Maurice Gibb. Where do I know that name from?
You can tell by the way I move my walk.
Oh wow, okay. Interesting. Gotcha. Yeah, that's of course. I was like, I know that name, but I can't imagine this being associated with this story at all.
No, not at all. But you know, it's the music business.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I don't know what's happening here, but now we're getting into some random photo territory, but you can enlighten me.
This is a thing they had in LA, I can't remember what year, 98, 99, of celebrating LA authors. And they took billboards and they put a quote from famous LA authors. And this happens to be Charles Bukowski.
Indeed.
What matters most is how well you walk through the fire.
Very insightful.
Yes, it is. And this is back to Western New York. And
all right, so we're going backwards. I wasn't sure where this fit in.
Don't worry about it. This is our one movie theater. It was run by these little old ladies. And we'd have a new movie every week. And a lot of it was Roger Corman movies. And so that's where I saw Death Race 2000. That's where I saw The Groove Tube. Do you know The Groove Tube?
Oh, I don't know The Groove Tube.
It's one of the first sketch comedy movies.
Okay.
And I went on my first date there. I took her to see It's Alive.
Ooh, nice.
Do you know the movie about the killer baby?
I know of it. I don't know if I've ever seen that one, but I definitely am, familiar with the name.
Okay, this is doing a short film. That is the Donnas.
Right, the Donnas. Yeah, this is another music video you worked on.
Yes, and I was so thrilled to be working with the Donnas.
They were so fun. I definitely, I have one of their albums. I forget what it's called, but it was very fun. Very fun band.
I'm forgetting their names right now too.
Spend the Night, I think.
Yeah, Spend the Night.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
have that
best
one.
one.
Yeah, I got that one.
But they were really cool. The song, this is their one of their latest albums called Bitchin', and it's a very pop oriented song. It's really not that good.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, I probably think I fell out of interested with them for at some point.
and they were still great live, but
I never seen them live. I'd love to see them live. Are they still touring?
I know they broke
Yeah.
up a long time ago.
Okay.
Uh,
Time for a reunion, the Donnas. I gotta go see
time
you.
for the Electrocutes a reunion. That was their first band.
Oh, really? Before they were the Donnas?
Yeah, had songs like "Steal Your Lunch Money" and things like that. And they
Oh,
were
I gotta
all
look
like
that up.
15.
Right. Yeah, I know because they were young when the Donnas happened. I recall.
But they didn't even like the song.
Oh, yeah. That's what happens with the single, right?
Yes. So that's me. That's what I did for many years. I stood on top of a stand so it wouldn't blow down and take somebody's head off.
Hey, someone's got to do it, right?
And this is my last day of work in the film business.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm sure I hated working on The Voice.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I never watched it. I was like,
Bieber was on that show that day.
Yeah. How was he? Did you meet him?
I never even saw him. He came in underneath the stage and went up to this platform, sang a song, and disappeared.
Like magic.
Daryl Hall was on that show too. On that episode.
Who was it? Daryl Hall?
Yeah, you know.
Like Hall and Oates? Yeah. Interesting. So what we don't have to talk about The Voice.
Well, see everything in the background? We had to build all of that.
Yeah.
And that stupid hand, it was made out of styrofoam. It was really fragile.
And this is just like a set room or like just a
it's the biggest stage in North America. It's stage 16 at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And it's just filled to the brim.
Yeah, I never, pop culture. I mean, I know what The Voice is, but I've never really watched it.
Well, see, we have to build bleachers to bring the audience in, and then that stage, and then rigging all the lights, and a lot of work, and a lot of people working on it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Heavy metal.
It's here in Bangkok. That's what I look like after about 20 minutes outside here every day.
Yeah, is it hot? What's the average temperature there?
It's 90.
Oof.
But we don't really have seasons, but we have the dry season and the wet season. Right now, it's the dry season and the temperature is higher, but the humidity is lower. Now, when we get into wet season, the temperature will be lower, but the humidity will be much higher.
Yeah, I think this is the Thailand section, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but that heavy metal thing is this market I used to go to, and I used to find great shirts. Not this one, but they just had endless stalls of different kind of rock shirts and things like that. But heavy metal, I don't think they sold any shirts, but that was there. I was like, cool, I love that magazine.
Right. Yeah.
This is where I plan to retire to.
All right. And then
this is Thai Buddhist hell.
Buddhist hell.
Yes.
It's very hellish. Yeah.
That depict what will happen to you if you're
wow.
adulterer, a liar, a thief. And actually I'm wearing a Clint Eastwood shirt, and it's for High Plains Drifter, and the sign I'm holding up is an imitation of hell from that movie.
Wow. They just have that's the creepiest park I've ever seen, man.
Oh, I'll send you some more pictures.
And that's like just like a permanent picture. Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
I'd be
but
scared.
The thing is, one side of it is hell, and the other side is nirvana.
Oh, okay.
If you look on my Facebook page, my background picture, whatever they're called, that's the nirvana of the same park. There's like 3 or 4 of these parks.
Yeah, that's insane.
And there's my lovely Pim. That's my girlfriend.
Nice.
And we're eating this Japanese restaurant called Pepper Lunch, and everything is cooked in this pan, and it's brought. It's cooking as it's brought to you on the table.
What brought you to Thailand? As we're going.
Wonderful people, delicious food, beautiful scenery, and it's cheap. This is my first trip. We were in Cambodia, and we had a flat tire in the middle of Nowheresville, Cambodia. And the driver of the taxi takes off on a motorcycle to go get it fixed and just leaves us there.
This seems to be a theme in your life.
What, being left someplace?
Yes.
This is me as Fred, and the lovely Toy as Wilma. This is an amusement park here in Bangkok.
More Flintstones throwbacks.
Yes, and it's an amusement park called Dreamland, and I was teaching the staff there.
Nice.
And we'd go out and take these pictures. And there's my step grandchild from a long time ago when I used to be married. That was my stepdaughter's daughter.
Nice. Yeah.
That's my ex-wife. And we're celebrating Loy Krathong. And
What's
those
that?
things we're holding there is this float. And you light the candles and you put it into some kind of water. And this is a canal by our house. And you send it off for well wishes to the water gods. That's my job.
What that's what you do? What do you do these days? If you care to share.
I'm still a teacher.
Okay, yeah.
Teacher. That's a
right. You said that. You mentioned that.
Tuk-tuk. Okay. This is one of the means of transportation. Okay.
Uh-huh. What is that called there?
Tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk.
That's the sound it makes, and that became its name. A cat is called Meow.
And what's Lagrange?
You don't know? You don't know the ZZ Top song?
No, I'm not that familiar with the ZZ Top. I mean, I know one guy has the name Beard and he doesn't have a beard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know
was
the song.
In Texas, and
so this is in Texas.
In LaGrange.
Gotcha.
And I had to take a picture. These are some of my lovely students.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And there's last time I celebrated a real Christmas because this girlfriend of mine, she's Filipino. So they have Christian values. So they celebrate Christmas. That's how I get around in Thailand. This man in the orange vest is a motorcycle taxi.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's the quickest way around. The traffic is hideous here. So
they
go like this through the traffic.
Worse than LA?
Yes, worse than LA. There's me and the lovely Pim.
It looks like
my ex-wife and the condo I used to live out in the background, and the canal of one of many. This is me celebrating Glow. Do you know Glow?
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling?
Yeah, right up there with Dark Shadows. It's best TV.
You know, I know one of them.
Really?
She was like a burlesque / opera singer.
Really?
I don't know if she lives in New York. God, I gotta remember her name because it's like everyone has their real name, their burlesque name, you know, all their different names.
Oh, okay.
I get them all confused.
She's not from the Netflix, is she?
No, from the original actual thing. If I remember, I'll
watch that show religiously.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, I was so well on the Netflix series. I was disappointed they didn't do their last season. It just kind of ended.
No, but when it came on in '86 and '87,
and
I lived in Washington D.C. at the time, so we picked up the Baltimore stations. And on Saturdays in the morning, it would play on the D.C. station, and at 11 o'clock at night on the Baltimore station. 2 different episodes. Like, yeah.
Nice. And then this is more, I guess, relevant to our cause here.
Yes.
There's
me and
Jameson
and Andrew came to visit in last May.
And you never saw him in the band, did you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did he play in 2009? I think he
No, I don't think so.
after.
Yeah, I think he was a couple of years after that.
Anyway, I wish we had more time together because it was like 110 degrees out that day.
Oh,
And I was
oh,
just
with
like,
them, yeah. God,
yeah, and
that's yikes.
you know, I could do it if I'm a traveler here, but I live here and I don't want
Yeah,
to put it.
yeah, and they're wearing black t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. And then, okay, I guess this is the end of my, getting to the end of my slideshow here. This is your artwork, right?
Yes, this I did for actually it was the start of doing some artwork for the Runaways movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed this one to Vicky Blue and she passed it on to Susie Quattro. The next thing I know, Susie Quattro is sending me a check to design a tour shirt for her.
Right. That's so cool.
And the amazing thing about it is the first concert I ever saw was Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare Tour, and Susie Quattro opened.
Sorry, I was muted. I was saying, what a fucking show, man. Like Alice Cooper, that tour was like revolutionary to like.
Yeah. I can't believe my father took me to it.
Nice. Wow. I've only seen it on video.
And you know, of all the concerts I've been to, that one I remember the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
It
still
was
have the
very
tour
impressionable, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I bet you that's worth something.
Yeah, it's really beat up. And I took the
Yeah.
poster out and hung it on the wall. I don't know where the
Right.
poster is.
Yeah, what a classic show.
And more of my
So,
artwork.
yeah.
You can see Cherie Curry at the bottom of there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you've been throughout all of this, you've been also doing art like this as well? Or what's your history with I guess you just pen to
It's
paper, right?
character design. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, these drawings I drew with a pencil and I take a black pen and outline it, and then I scan it into the computer and I clean it all up and then add the color.
Right.
But it takes a long time. I don't do it anymore. So this is a novel I wrote under my real name. It's actually Briggs is my middle name, and
Okay.
Hermanson is my real name from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
But they changed it at somewhere along the line. But my relatives in Sweden are still called Hermanson.
Would you say you got Americanized?
Oh yeah, of course. As soon as I was born.
And of course,
Again,
all leading up to this is happening soon, right? Next month,
Yes.
April 4/20. I will be at the dark side of the con in New Jersey this day and not in Thailand. But if you're in Thailand, you should go see this show.
Yes.
Tell us about your art show here.
Well, I've been painting for a long time, and but I stopped painting when I moved to Thailand. I was like kind of disassociating myself with art. I just wanted to relax and not, do all this stuff that I used to do. And
Right.
about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I started watching Japanese women's wrestling.
Okay.
And I just got totally fascinated with it, and I started painting them. Sorry, I have to grab one of the paintings.
Sure. Yeah, let's see it. I mean, if you liked glow, I'm sure this is the new thing, right?
Who knows? But sorry, I should have had these laid down before.
That's okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We got Vinny too.
Other than some few friends,
Let's see. Nice. That's awesome. This is going to be part of your show coming up? Yeah. You might be frozen. Are you frozen? Oh, okay.
Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
It's all.
So the whole show is themed on what is it? Women's wrestling? That's so cool.
Yes. As you see in the title on the flyer, it says "Victory Through Guts," and that was part of the logo for the All Japan Women's Wrestling. There was their slogan was "Victory Through Guts."
That's great. And then, okay, now we're getting into we're transitioning into the Dookie Fly Swatter section, I think. Yeah, are you ready? Well, should I? Can I even? You think I can even display this piece of art that you sent me? That you sent to, it was going to be a Haunted Garage design?
Oh no, dude!
Is that why it wasn't used?
Yeah, it was a joke. Okay. It wasn't really a joke. I was thinking, well, what can I do for Dookie that's really extreme?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I want girls to buy the shirt,
Yeah. So that didn't happen. But you did send me this this lovely photo of Dookie Fly Swatter. Tell me about where this is.
Well, it's the Filipino version of McDonald's it's still there probably in Eagle Rock, in an Eagle Rock shopping mall that is more targeting, the Filipinos that live in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been there in the Philippines, and I said, Dookie, you got to go to Jollibee's, and let me take a picture. And you see, this is a long time ago. This is on a very old camera phone.
Yeah. Yes, I remember those. All right, let's see. All right, well, let me just show everybody this. Well, this was on my show. Did you guys catch my birthday show? I premiered some footage from my documentary that I've been working on daily, The Life and Slimes of Dookie Fly Swatter and Haunted Garage. Maybe I'll play it at the end of this show for this I think this audience would enjoy that. There is some GWAR crossover for sure. And now let me full screen you. We're gonna do we'll see if we can use this for the documentary. Tell me about Dookie Fly Swatter.
Yeah, wonderful man. I've known him probably 40 years.
Wow, really?
Now, let me think how old I am. No, it's only 30 years, okay? And I first met him through this band called the Pygmy Love Circus.
Okay.
I think they did a lot of shows together. I think you did an interview with Shepard Stevenson.
I sure did.
And I first met Dookie and Barb at this party for Mike Savage, the singer from Pygmy Love Circus. And it was his birthday. It was his wife's birthday. And it was a big party. Got to meet Lemmy.
Lemmy was there?
Yeah.
At Dookie's house?
No. This is not Dookie's house.
Oh, Mike Savage's house.
Yes.
Got you. Was Haunted Garage still active at the time, or did you you ever saw the original band?
No. I
No.
never saw it.
Okay.
Could have.
Yeah. And yeah. I'm not sure which questions to ask you about him. I'm not sure.
No, I can go on with the story, okay?
Oh yeah,
I met him and Barb, and I was totally enthralled with Barb. And I met Lemmy that night, and I didn't recognize who he was, and I was out of cigarettes, and I said, "Hey, you got a smoke?"
Nice.
Yeah, sure. Then I go, Lemmy.
Wow.
And I saw Motorhead on one of their first shows ever in America, opening up for Ozzy.
Nice. That sounds like a good show. Wow. Where was that?
It was a gymnasium in Towson, Maryland, outside of Baltimore.
Nice.
And they blew fuses in their amp. They had to stop playing. That's really wild. I wasn't really that exposed to them yet. I was there to see Ozzy.
Yeah.
And it was a really good show.
They were supposed to be the loudest band at the time, right? That was their whole claim to fame. right?
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
you know, Black Sabbath was much louder.
Yeah.
And I'd
Right.
seen that like, earlier that year or something like that with Blue Oyster Cult. That was a great show. Blue Oyster Cult was really, really good.
Nice.
Black Sabbath.
Did they have the light show? Yeah, Black Sabbath was probably kind of boring back then, right?
Well, they had Ronnie James Dio.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like when Ronnie sang the Heaven and Hell songs, it was great. But when he sang the Ozzy songs, it's like, and they didn't come on until like midnight.
Right.
Because Blue Oyster Cult had this giant Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And it took them like an hour and a half to take it apart.
That's funny.
For Black Sabbath to come on.
Oh, wow. Oh, they opened for them. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, they would alternate through the tour.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Black Sabbath finally said, no, we'll go on last. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But everybody is like at midnight and like, oh, God.
Yeah.
But my ears rang for like 4 days after that show.
So did you ever see? Yeah, did you ever see any of Dookie's bands or like? No. What? You were telling me
with Rosemary's Billy Goat singing some
yes. Right. Yeah, you were saying that. That's unfortunate because it was the year I was in that band, but I was only a touring member. So any of their home shows, except on that tour, I didn't do those. So that was not when I was in the band, but it was the same year.
Dinah Cancer too.
Oh, really? She was there?
Yeah.
Nice. Where was that? Do you remember?
I think it was in Long Beach.
Yeah. Rosemary's Billy Goat. What a fucking adventure.
The first time I saw them, there was this record store in Silver Lake, which I lived on the border of Silver Lake in East Hollywood. And it's called Hellhole or something like that. And they had this show one night. It was Rosemary's Billy Goat and this band called Tongue and another band called Texas Deathmatch. It's all free.
Liz McGrath's band?
Texas Deathmatch?
No, Tongue.
I can't remember what her name was. She was the singer, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. That was her band.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she's supposed to give me an interview soon. She did the last Haunted Garage album cover, actually. She's a great artist.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she had a band, Miss Derringer, for a long time, too.
Well, I gave her a copy of my book,
Oh,
My
great.
Little Yankee.
Oh, wow. I'll ask her about that.
Maybe you get an honest review from somebody.
Yeah. Well, it won't be live, so don't worry. It'll just be.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I know. That's great.
But that was an incredible night. It's like that's the first time I ever even heard of Rosemary's Billy Goat. I'm like, what? It was a flashback to GWAR?
For you Green Jello fans, this is of course my yuck symbol, Kevin the Dinosaur, and I got the name Kevin the Dinosaur because I was in Rosemary's Billy Goat, and Bill Manspeaker thought I looked like a dinosaur in that band. So that's how I got this name. It was because of Rosemary's Billy Goat. Mike Odd. Yeah.
How's his Nick Sabbath doing?
Shh. He's the manager.
I know.
Yeah.
But
he's the manager.
Are they still going?
I know. They're doing pretty well, actually. It's just so funny because he's like doesn't want to, trying to separate the persona from the identity, and it's like, dude, we all know it's you. Come on. It's not really that big of a secret.
I didn't know that he was trying to keep it a secret.
Well, I don't know how successful that is. I mean, at least he was when they first started, but like, come on. He's like, yes, I'm the manager. It's like, yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, I saw them once in New York. It was great.
Well, back to the Dookie story.
Yeah, tell me more about the Dookie story.
10 years later, I moved to Los Feliz Village, which is borderline of East Hollywood and Silver Lake. And it was the greatest neighborhood. Okay. Vermont Avenue had this killer coffee shop, this poetry insanity shop, this great bookstore. God, I can't believe I forgot the name of the bookstore. And this video store called Mondo Video A Go Go.
Yeah, Andy Chavez worked there.
Yes, that's where I met Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I reacquainted with Dookie.
He had a whole section of his movies there, Dookie Fleischwater section.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he had a whole tab with all his movies in there. Yeah.
But yeah, I actually, I saw Surf Nazis Must Die when it came out in '87.
Mm-hmm.
And I did work with Joel Hitler.
Oh yeah, I don't think they were friends. Did you ever talk to Dookie about him?
Yeah, I did. And Joel was doing some kind of lounge act.
Huh.
Doing like police covers and things like that.
Did you know him before that movie came out?
No. This
okay.
is many years later.
Gotcha.
Anyway, me and Dookie got to talking, and he said, "Yeah, come on by and watch some movies." And come over to his place, and he had this great crazy dog, Ava, and she was part boxer and part pit bull. That he told me the story that he had a dream one night that he had this dog, and he got up and went into the kitchen, and there was this dog that didn't close the door all the way. And this dog came into his house. It was his dog for a long time.
Oh wow!
Anyway, the first movie that he puts on for me is this movie called Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. Now, I'm a pretty big aficionado on grindhouse stuff, but I'd never seen this one before. I'm like, this is really great.
Huh? Wow.
Yeah,
I never heard of that one.
From there, and hung out for many years.
You were telling me. Can you tell me about this project that you guys were working on before you left?
Yeah, he did Blood Diner,
and
whoever was backing Blood Diner,
Jimmy Maslin.
Yeah, was always pushing him to do something else, and he told me that Jimmy wants us to do She Devils on Wheels, a remake. We kind of roughed out a treatment. I can't recall much of it. The problem was that when we were working on it, neither one of us had the film. So I'm just going on memory.
Was that a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie? Because I know Jimmy owned like a bunch of Herschel Gordon Lewis movies.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And we roughed out kind of a vague idea of it, but we still can't remember. I don't know if it ends with the guy being decapitated or not. So,
I never saw the movie.
Anyway, we kind of fleshed out the characters and stuff. Dookie had this great idea of the head butch girl having, like in Robert Mitchum, love and hate. He's got the tattoos, but she's got rings, and it says fist fuck. And the main song is going to be, which we did argue about, was when the main girl who is Honeypot in the real movie. I came up with the idea. We'd call her Pleather, and she gets gang raped by the man's gang, and we play the song Train Kept Rolling.
Haunted Garage used to cover that song back in the early 80s.
Maybe that's why we got in this argument, because he said, because at first I had some, I was thinking about Terry Nunn for some reason. I said, well, what about Riding on the Metro? And I was like, no,
Berlin,
yeah, and we argued about it. It's like, no, he was for the Berlin song.
Oh, really? Yeah, you know what? I can interject. Maybe this is how that came up. They changed the words to heads kept a rolling, kept a rolling.
Oh, really? Heads kept a rolling?
Heads kept a rolling. So it was like decapitated heads or whatever, like a monster version. So that's what they used to do in like 1985, the original Haunted Garage. Yeah, see, maybe that's why you said there's something about a decapitated woman at the end. Maybe that's how it connected in his head.
Yeah, and I think we changed the name of the girl gang. They were the Man Eaters in Lewis's version, and we were going to call them the Dick Eaters.
That's great.
Yeah, that's about as far as we got with it. We were just kind of fleshing out the ideas, but at that time I was working a lot, so it's like a while until we got back to it. But with Dookie, something goes kind of disappear.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Revitalizes it. Like since I've been here, he wrote to me. You have the notes for She Devils on Wheels?
Oh yeah, do you?
No, there. I do, but they're in America.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I would love to do it.
I hope he's working on stuff. I don't know if he's working on anything these days, but like I know he's probably got lots of great scripts on the shelf or ideas. What
it's
a creative force
all the time.
Yeah,
but then the execution part is the problem.
Right. Yeah,
but,
that's great.
It's a hilarious guy. I love him to death,
Yeah, Dookie. I mean, I've been like just daily re-editing this, this project. So like, I'm just thinking about Dookie all the time right now.
I can tell you a funny story.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, Dookie, he loves to cook, and he went out and bought the smoker for like barbecues, and he was having this party. He has a pool where he lives, and he says, "Yeah, I got the smoker." He calls me, "I got the smoker burning." I'm like, "Great." And 20 minutes later, he calls, "The fire department is here. They have burned down the building." And there's all this dry brush around the fence around the pool, and it caught fire.
Oh no.
Only you, Dookie. Only you could do that. But it turned out to be a great afternoon anyway. So
good.
I came over and gave him a big hug. Man, it's all right. It's all right, dude.
I heard about those pool parties.
Yeah, it's lots of fun. Probably this is like 2002, I think. But that prop rock film.
Oh yes, prop stars. So you want to talk about prop stars? I don't know if those ever officially released or what. Actually, Mike Odd gave me a copy, and I think it was a rough cut.
I have a DVD of it someplace.
Yeah, I know. I think someone gave me. It's like, there's a couple different cuts of that thing. But you are in it, hanging out with Dookie Flyswatter. He's talking about sticking a feather duster up his ass.
That time.
What's that?
I was actually talking to Brant Bjork, which I don't think he made it in the movie.
I don't know who that is.
He's the drummer for Caius.
Okay.
And he's got his own soul bands are really great. But yeah, I was talking to him because there was a club right around the corner from where we were.
Right.
And that was when Newt interviewed me, and I had a fractured ankle. I was on crutches.
Right.
I wasn't in the greatest mood, and then I'm telling this same old story about GWAR, blah blah blah. And then Dookie comes along. Oh yeah, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make. They're imitating this old the 30s movie star. I'm never gonna happen. And I was like, take the crutch and smack him in the head.
That's what you were talking about. You wanted to kill him.
But that's the way we interacted with each other most of the time. So
yeah, just over the top all the time.
Yeah, and then we'd be out at what Fry's is, right?
No, what's Fry's?
This is a giant electronics store in California.
Okay, I've never lived in California, so
okay. But anyway, we would go there to buy DVDs and stuff, and we're walking around, and then Dookie just starts yelling out, "But I love you, man! I really love you." Okay, dude, good, but keep it down. But I really love you.
Yeah,
but
were you
interacted? We'd be bitching at each other. He'd try to get on my nerves. He'd try to push my buttons, and most of the time I wouldn't let him. Or I'd just blow my top and say, "I'm gonna kill you, dude."
Yeah, I didn't know him back then. Like, well, I met him, I guess, in 2008. you know, when they did that reunion show and everything. I guess it was around that time. Maybe a couple.
Safari Sam's. Where
Yeah.
is that?
It was
Is
in
that
like
in
a strip
Hollywood?
mall.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
I think it moved around a lot
yeah, maybe.
because I remember going to, I think it was Safari Sam's on Robinson, which is over in like West Hollywood.
Was it in a strip mall? Because this place was in a strip mall. It was a nice venue. Bill Moseley was
Oh,
there.
I know where it is. It's right next to the 99-cent store.
I don't know. Juki drove me there. I have no idea where I was.
That was Dookie's second home, was the 99-cent store.
Actually, that does sound familiar.
Yeah,
I mean, everything
so
was
that's
closed by the time we got there, I think, except for the club.
Well, there used to be a strip joint there before it became Safari Sam's, but there was another that name at another club, which I saw one of the best shows I ever saw in LA with a band called Do Rag.
Never heard of that one.
You ever heard of Bob Log?
I don't think so. Who's Bob Log?
He was the singer in Do Rag, but
Right.
you know, he was a multi-instrumentalist at, you know, just performing himself. You know, he had some kind of tambourine on his foot, and he had this like old style telephone as his microphone, and he wore this helmet. But anyway, with Do Rag, he had another guy with him. So it was really
like
interesting.
a concept to it. It was like a concept band, or
well, it's kind of like this really raw blues.
Okay.
And yeah, you can find him on YouTube, Bob Log. And also on that show was another great band called Honk If You're Horny.
I don't know that one either. That sounds great.
It was a friend of mine's band, Jay Sosnicki. He used to publish a fanzine, and I can't remember what it was called.
What kind of music were they?
It's kind of just rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it had a whole bunch of people in the band. I'm thinking, I can't remember her name, but she was very famous in the Hollywood punk rock scene. It's not Iris Berry. It's this other woman, which I can't remember.
You'd have to give me more than that. Yeah.
You don't know Iris Berry?
No. Who's Iris Berry?
Lovely woman. And she runs a publishing company now.
Okay.
Called Punk Hostage.
She was in a band?
Yeah, she was in this band called the Ringling Sisters with some of the members from what's that? Walk Like an Egyptian band.
Oh, the Bangles.
Yeah, with the Bangles.
Okay.
Ringling Sisters, and they just kind of like did harmonies together. But Iris was, you know, famous in the Hollywood punk rock scene. She's a beautiful girl, and she in a couple movies. Well, one movie I worked on her with.
Yeah, which one?
I Pass for Human.
I Pass for Human.
Yes.
That sounds like a fun movie.
Chris D. He's really famous. He was in Decline of Western Civilization.
Chris D. Was he in a band?
Yeah, he's in many. He had the Flesh Eaters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know the Flesh Eaters. I was like, I know that name. He was in Decline. You know, I have my Decline checklist. I have seen almost every band from that movie except, I think, Catholic Discipline.
Oh, you saw Germs? When?
I saw the Germs. Yeah, not the original Germs, but like when they put out that, you know, when they put out that biopic, What We Do is Secret. I saw the premiere of that in New York, and then afterwards, all the actors and the band were there for a Q&A, and then a couple hours later, they all played, you know, the reunion lineup at the Gramercy Theater, and I got to meet Lorna Doone.
Cool.
Yeah.
She passed away recently, didn't she?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, or at least, yeah, probably.
Pat Spear there too?
Yeah, Pat was playing. I didn't get to meet him. Pat, Don, yep. And then the guy who was playing Darby in the movie was singing. So it was pretty cool. There was like nobody there, and Murphy's Law opened up.
Well, you know, seeing Decline back in the early 80s when we all saw it on the East Coast, we all just thought, well, who are the fucking Germs? They look like they suck.
They were pretty terrible. Yeah. I mean, I think the legend grew more as time went on, but like They were
But
not
then
that
you
great
listen
of
to
a
the
band.
record and it's just like, this is great
Oh, the
stuff.
songs are great. I mean, what's that song? Gimme, gimme this, gimme that.
Yeah.
That
Manimal.
song.
Manimal is the song they
Not
do. That.
Manimal.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's one of the best punk rock songs of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's great.
They couldn't play it very well most of the time, but it was a great song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don was a great drummer. I mean, 45 Grave, of course, after that.
Well, he said he didn't know anything about drumming.
That
He just
maybe
lied
is part of
way into
his
the
charm.
band.
Yeah, maybe that's why it was so great, because it was all instinct and not like technique.
You know the story of him calling up Pat Smear and going, yeah, I really want to be in your band. What kind of music you into? And he goes, oh, yes, Queen.
No, I don't know that story.
And they do
believe
that
it.
that intro to Roundabout or something like that. On I can't remember what song it is. I'm looking for it on my phone. I can't find it though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I saw the Germs, and I finally saw
years
Fear.
later.
I finally saw
I
Fear
never
last
saw
year.
Fear.
Yeah, in October they played in Brooklyn. I finally got to see him.
Who's in the band now? Just beside Lee.
I don't know. Other guys. I mean, I guess he's had this same band for a while, but like it's not like the 80s lineup or anything.
Well, I think Philo died, didn't he?
I'm not sure. But they were really great. They played those record songs pretty fucking fantastically.
I really wanted to see them. When they had that riot at the Hollywood Palladium, they were supposed to have this other secret show at this great club called Raji's.
Oh yeah, it's huge in the Haunted Garage story.
But it never materialized.
Oh man, yeah. Apparently everyone played at Raji's.
Yeah, it was great. Great club. It's the Pygmies played there a lot too.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it was around in the early 80s, but I think it came about.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I think.
And you know that club was owned by a bunch of Thai people.
Okay. I mean, I know the owner's name was Dobbs. I don't know much about him.
Well, they had like 3 different locations throughout Los Angeles. There was one over on Vermont Avenue, and there was another one that became Raji's. It used to be this dive called the Ski Room.
Yeah, I don't know the history.
When I moved to LA, I was like, you see it in the intro, the title sequence of Barfly.
Okay.
So it's like my checklist. I got a Ski Room. Yeah. Going there.
I know like Epitaph had a studio and like a house like right behind Raji's. At least that one location.
House.
Or I guess
the main location was on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I was not around back then, but I hear lots of stories about Raji's.
Yeah, I moved to LA doing this kind of dying out.
Right, yeah.
Change. Still had a lot of fun, about mid 90s. It was like, it used to be really cheap to live in LA. I came from New York City. I was like, I had to leave New York City. It's way too expensive. And when I moved to LA, I was like,
too.
It's great. And I lived at this house that the Pygmies used to live at.
Oh, okay.
Pygmy Love Circus started in this house downtown LA. There's a rooming house that was like run by Scientologists. And all of a sudden these giant guys come in there and
that's always what everyone when they talk about the Pygmies, they're like, there's these giant ugly dudes, man. It's like, yeah, I guess that's their gimmick,
First people I had to drink with in LA was Mike Savage.
Oh, well, aren't they all sober now? I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole big part of the story too, of course.
Yes. And very, very, very grateful to have their friendship throughout the years.
Yeah, I hear a lot about the Pygmies.
Yeah, it's crazy. At the house.
You have any Green Jello stories?
I only saw them that one time, and I went to the studio. I saw them at the GWAR show, and
the Palladium.
Danny. I knew Danny.
Yeah, because he was in Pygmy Love Circus as well.
Yeah. Used to go to parties at Danny's loft.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I shot this Pygmy Love Circus. It was supposed to be a music video of them doing a cover of Jailbait. But
Okay.
it's basically in this movie, which I think is called Jailbait too. And it starts off with people at this, and it was at a very infamous club too, where we shot that. I'm trying to think of it. You ever see Ed Wood?
The movie? Yeah. Sure.
Yes. It's the bar he hangs out in. I can't remember.
I
It's
have
on
no
Cherokee.
idea.
But anyway, we shot it there.
Okay.
I don't know what actually the story is, but I remember doing a shot of somebody having a tab of acid in their hand and ingesting it, and then pygmies come on and play.
What happened to it? You don't know? No. It's part of that movie? Are they in that movie?
Yes, yes. I would, I can't remember the director's name. Mm-hmm. But I only shot that part of the movie, and then we moved on, and they had a different DP, and I was just the camera assistant.
I don't think I added this to the slideshow, but there was a picture you sent me doing like you were in some movie with the guy from Pygmy Love Circus.
Yeah, Shepard.
Yeah,
he was
Shepard.
The producer of that movie.
Yeah, what was it?
It's called Double Deception, the same one we did with Udo Kier.
Yes, bringing it back around. Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I know he does like soundtrack work and stuff now, right?
Yeah, last I knew, he was still a set dresser.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but I knew he was doing music because he did the music for I Pass for Human.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, I just met him that one time I interviewed him, but he was like such a cool guy.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
Both had a love of the same type of music too.
Yeah.
Except for he likes Daryl Hall and Oates a lot more
than I do. we won't hold it against him.
But we were both really into stoner rock when it first started happening at the same time. And we were both sober. I've never been stoned listening to stoner rock.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because that's like that whole Caius and desert scene and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
A lot of Swedish stuff too.
Okay.
Spiritual Beggars.
Yeah, what are you listening to these days? Anything?
If I have so many songs on my phone. If I'm commuting to work, I just shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
A band I discovered a while ago are Death Valley Girls.
I've heard of them. I feel like I'm wondering if I saw them even, maybe. I see so many bands, sometimes I forget.
They're pretty recent, probably in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
they have
definitely
3
heard
albums.
of them. Okay.
But it's really good traveling music. It's kind of like stoner, psychedelic, more psychedelic than stoner, but it has a really tight groove to it. I listen to a lot of Japanese stuff. Japanese rock. Have you ever heard any of it?
I know Melt Banana.
Well, it's a little bit different
than that. Yeah.
There's a bunch of bands.
Probably
this band, Go 7188.
I saw them once.
You did?
Yeah, at the Knitting Factory in New York. I bought their record, or I bought their DVD. Yeah, they couldn't like speak any English really, and I forget who they played with, but I definitely saw them once.
I'm surprised. If I would have heard that in LA, but
I mean,
there's
this
a
must
Knitting
have
Factory
been
in LA too.
Yeah. I mean, this must have been like 2007 or something like that. It's a while ago.
But I did not hear about that because I was really into Japanese rock at that time.
I think they may have opened for the Suicide Girls burlesque show, actually. It's probably 2008-ish, yeah.
Another really great band is called Meadery. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
And it's punk rock jazz.
Okay.
This girl plays guitar. They have a stand-up bass player and somebody on electric piano, and it's crazy drummer. It's crazy girl.
Is there like a? Of course, yeah. Is there like a punk rock scene in Thailand? Like, what's the scene out there like?
Yeah, there's a punk rock scene. There was a black metal scene where people imitated Norway and killed themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that does,
but it's just like a black metal scene in a Buddhist country really doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, it's like a black metal band in a Muslim country.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of punk rock bands. MDC played here about 10 years ago.
I think they're still playing. I think they just played in New York recently.
It was the first hardcore show I ever saw.
Oh, MDC. Wow.
It was at VCU. They sent in this fake tape of some other band, some new wave band.
At Schaefer Court?
Yes, and they sent it to the concert committee. Oh, great. These sound really poppy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I feel like we've covered a lot of ground. We could probably start to land this plane. Let me tell the audience some upcoming shows. We have some bookings. Let's check it out. The next GWARPod will be. I'm coining this phrase. Maybe we can workshop this, but Bohabisode. Bohabisode. I don't know. I'm workshopping this. This is a fan episode. This is gonna get crazy. This is some of the more recent GWAR fans, and they are simps of the characters in GWAR. I don't know what exactly is gonna happen, but it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna talk about GWAR. But also, I have another special announcement. That's April 10th, and then in May. Oh, we got Pete Lee, who was Flatus Maximus from 92 to 98. And of course, the X-Cops who are back on tour. Look, I got my X-Cop shirt on from the most recent show. Yeah, man, this guy got shot while he was in GWAR. And boy, does he have a story to tell. We're going to find out together. Do you know anything about Pete Lee? Did you ever meet him?
What years did he play with them?
92 to 98. So it wouldn't have been that Palladium show.
Once in like 98 at the Hollywood Palace.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure because there was another guy who took over for him in that year, so I'm not sure which one you saw. That could have been Zach Blair.
The Hollywood Palace is an awful place to see a show.
Really?
The sound is hideous.
The Palace. Like that's been there for a while, right?
Yeah, but it's made for the theater.
Yeah, because Haunted Garage used to play there in the 80s. Well, actually, there's a famous show of Haunted Garage and Green Jello and Pygmy Love Circus that happened there in like 1992.
Yeah. The most famous show is the Slayer Suicidal Tendencies show, where a couple people died.
Oh, wow.
They didn't die in the show. They were drunk and they got hit by cars on Vine Avenue.
I didn't know that.
And that was about the time that the Suicidal was banned from LA. Okay. I think Slayer was banned too to play in LA. But yeah, it's like
Slayer's coming back already. They're already reuniting. What a crappy retirement, man. Can't even last like 2-3 years. That's nuts.
Who's playing guitar for him now? Who's the new guitar player?
I think it's just still Kerry King, as far as I know.
Oh yeah, of course, Kerry. But who's taking what's his face's place?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it's like whatever lineup they last had. I don't know that much about it. I know, what's his name? The original drummer. He's playing in the Misfits and a bunch of other bands now. Dave Lombardo.
Misfits. That's one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, let's hear this story with Glenn Danzig in the 80s. With Michael Graves.
They didn't hardly play it at all in the 80s.
You know? Yeah.
Unless you lived in New York and New Jersey.
Right.
They probably played in DC, but I missed them. No, this is the reunion with Des Cadena and Mark.
Yeah. I saw that show. It was pretty terrible.
It was hideous. I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
Same.
Really?
I think I got into that one for free for some reason.
Yeah, I had this friend.
It's the only time I saw the Misfits, before the Glenn Danzig came back.
I think Andy Chavez was with us too, because
I
it was
believe
his
it.
roommate that got the free tickets because he did some work on. I can't remember the name of the club. He did some work on their website.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Andy's a huge Misfits fan. Michael Graves, I think, officiated his wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
another person I really love is Andy. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Andy, man. I stayed at his house for like 2 weeks while we were filming interviews for this documentary. So he
met him
totally
at Mondo
cool.
Video A Go-Go too.
Yeah, young Andy Chavez.
Here's another a Dookie story.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me get in documentary mode for a second. I gotta get rid of your name and I gotta full screen you. Okay, go for it.
Well, this man, I can't remember his name, but he used to work at Mondo Video Go-Go, and he was just as crazy, if not crazier, than our friend Fly Swatter. And they ran into each other at the 99-cent store, and Dookie walks away. The guy walks the other direction. Dookie's walking around, and all of a sudden, on the PA system, they have somebody paging Mr. Fly Swatter, Mr. Fly Swatter, and it was this guy needed to page Dookie. I guess just to hear Dookie Fly Swatter over the loudspeaker. That's a short story.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna make the doc, but I appreciate it on a personal level.
Well, it's one of the things about it is it's a 99-cent store. That's like Dookie's favorite place.
Yeah. What would he buy there?
Lots of things.
Just everything, huh?
Yeah. It was as big as a supermarket.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you have equivalent in New York now? Dollar store or something like that?
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I don't really go to the dollar stores. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of them. I don't know what they're called.
We have one in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese dollar store. It's actually more than $1, though.
Oh, that's the same here.
Daiso.
I mean, nothing's $1. That's crazy. Yeah.
But Daiso has this, it's a Japanese store, so it has rejected Japanese items. They ship them out to these stores in Thailand. That's where I got that picture of me in the glow shirt. I got those glasses with the crown on it.
Nice. Yeah. That's something you could pick up at a dollar store.
Yes.
So, okay, I usually end with this question, and then maybe I'll play, for the fans who are sticking around and didn't see it already, I'll play my sneak preview of the documentary, which is about 12 minutes, and then I'll end the show with that. How about that? Because you haven't seen that yet, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah. This is the right audience for it. And yes, there's GWAR members in it. Can you leave us with a good Dave Brocky story?
There's too many of them, man.
Yeah. That is a problem. Uh-oh. He's stuck.
Okay. One more.
There we go.
Brocky, we lost our. Okay. Anyway,
Okay, we're back.
And Brocky comes in my room and starts pushing. Okay. So where should I start?
From the beginning, because I think you disconnected sort of for a few minutes.
Brocky and this guy named Dave Bender. We lived in this place called Trashville, and Brocky lived like in the living room. He took a desk and put a box spring mattress on top of it, leaning against some molding on the wall, and shoved a mattress underneath. That's where he lived. Anyway, so I'm asleep one morning, and Brocky comes into my room and he goes, "Hey, dude, somebody just came in and stole your pants." What the fuck are you talking about? Stole my pants? Yeah, I was sitting out here and smoking some hash. I thought I was hallucinating. I looked down at the floor looking for my pants. They're gone with my wallet. Like, what are you doing? Why do you let somebody walk into the house and steal my pants?
Did someone walk into your
Yes.
house and steal his? Who did he ever find out who stole his pants?
No, my pants.
So
Not
people
his
would just
pants.
walk into your house and steal
But
shit.
we also
Like,
got robbed at gunpoint there too.
okay, that sounds like a story. Damn.
Brocky did a drawing of it, and it says, "Oh, please don't kill me."
Oh wow.
That was another situation where I was in my bedroom, and Brocky and this runaway named Jeff were sitting out in the living room, and Jeff yells to me, "Hey Tim, somebody's coming in." The thing is, we had this French door was our front door, and it had these glass panes, and people would knock so hard on it, they always break. So people would just reach in and open up the door and come in. And he's saying, "Hey Tim, somebody's coming in." I'm like, so what? And I walk out in the living room, and there's these two black guys with guns. It's like, what? Why do you say somebody's coming in? You say, "Help!"
Yeah. What did they take?
Everything of value.
Jesus.
And then my other roommate, Dave Bender, comes home, and he could see through the broken pane that's somebody that is not supposed to be there. And he opens up the door, runs, "Hey!" Point the gun at him.
Jesus.
So,
rough town, huh?
well, see, the thing is, there was this girl that dealt drugs downstairs. So they thought they were getting her place.
Oh, gotcha.
So and they tied us up and made us lean down on the bed and cleared out the place of anything of value.
Jesus. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's fucking wild, man.
But also, they took $20 out of my pocket too. They went through my pocket. What's this?
Jesus.
Pushed the gun head to my head. It's like,
Well, maybe I can leave this a little bit more lighthearted, because I kind of skipped over this in the beginning. But I'm sure you saw Death Piggy shows. Do you have any good memories of Death Piggy?
Yeah, I saw so many of them. It was always fantastic time. I was always part of it too. I used to do this song called "Gotta Slam," like "Gotta Dance" from Gene Kelly, but it was "Gotta Slam." It was a nonsense song. Let me think. So many shows. There was this one that Ben Huberner was in, and he played like this game show announcer, and we were presenting Jews. And not the religious type of people, but it was a drink that we concocted of like bananas and coffee, and we brought a vat of it to the show and passing it out. And Ben was doing this big spiel about how good Jews is, and the club was just covered with this crap. These people were throwing it all over the place. That was Valentine's Day, I think, too.
Interesting.
They had a bubble machine one time.
A bubble machine?
Yes. That was opening up for the Big Boys.
Oh, wow.
The Big Boys were fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard them? Or
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't name any of their songs, but I know I've heard them. Yeah.
We would go up and do shows in Charlottesville and play with this band. What are they called? They became the Dead Flowers. They were on Touch and Go. The Landlords.
I don't know. The only Touch and Go band I really know is the Meatmen.
Butthole Surfers is it?
Oh, okay. Butthole Surfers. Maybe I don't know who was on that label.
Laughing Hyenas.
Yeah, I don't
Big
really know
Black.
them. Big Black. Okay, yeah, I know songs about fucking.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Yeah, sure.
Did you ever see them?
No.
It's really difficult to see them because when they would come, it would just sell out like that.
I mean, I don't know if I was old enough to see them.
Yeah,
When
you
did
could have
when?
gone to an all ages show if
I
they were
guess.
in town for that.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, you
This
know,
is awesome, man. Yeah.
my final words, that whole experience of people like Dookie and Brocky, it was inspired to inspire. That's my motto. Okay.
That's awesome.
Never really competing with each other, just pushing each other to do more. So wonderful
Fucking
experience.
Tim Herrman, the man who wrote "You Ain't Shit." Wow. That's the real gem here. Like, I didn't know about that. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be able to write that song. I wrote it
Yeah.
really quick. I had that line in my head. My mind meets the hand of doom.
Yeah. I mean, then they played that a lot. Like, compared to other songs on that record, like that one lasted a long time in their set.
Well, I wasn't talking to him much at that time because I'd moved, you know, New York and LA, Florida. Anyway, I wish they would have censored it and said, "You ain't spit." And it could have been a pretty big hit, I think.
It's a good song. Yeah. Well, that's an idea. And the music video, I love that too. Oh, the Rock and Roll Party Town music video. Yeah.
Great. And Joey hates that song.
He'll be on the show, but we don't have a date, but he'll be on the show.
Well, you know, my peace and love to all of the people of GWAR and all you fans out there, because you make bands like GWAR.
Hell yeah. Well, speaking of, yeah, thank you so much. And hey guys, if you want to stick around an extra 10 minutes, I'll play my sneak preview of the Dookie documentary. And I'll be back next time with some fans. April 10th. It's gonna be wild. Check it out. All right, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Let me find it, and then thank you everybody, and have a great night. Oh, and of course, if you're on the East Coast, I'll be in Long Island tomorrow playing with Green Jelly, and then in New Jersey on Friday playing with Green Jelly at the Debonair Music Hall in New Jersey, Friday, March 22nd. That's yeah, it's here on the East Coast. So definitely check it out. Okay, and roll film.
Imagine Alice Cooper with about 1/100th the money.
If the Cramps had been a heavy metal band.
Crazy as H, blood-splattered, ear-splitting hilarity.
The Wizard of Oz meets splatter horror films.
But the gag is, you're in the splash zone.
You're covered with goo and blood, and by the time you're done, if you're not completely soaked, you didn't have a haunted garage show.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
It's basically walking into the most brutal, gory film right in front of your face.
It's the Arthur Brown ethic, it's the Kiss ethic, it's the Alice Cooper ethic, I never got the word right, guignol. That sort of fashion of entertainment going back to Demon Barber of Fleet Street and before.
I've gotta bring in a jar. Keep it under my bed.
Historically, I see them following in this tradition of the most over-the-top bands theatrically.
You know, Alice Cooper and David Bowie and whoever.
They're LA's version and they're punk rock's version.
But Haunted Garage took it to a new level.
I always felt they did it best.
I think they were the kings of it.
You know, there's a lot of kind of shock rock stuff nowadays and stuff, but there wasn't so much back in those days.
I look at bands like Green Jello and GWAR and think Haunted Garage did the more down-home, to-earth, real version of that.
But Dookie took a different slant on it. You know, they weren't monsters from space. They were like
out of the horror movie.
Dookie was always just ahead of his time on that.
Like, they never had like a lame show. Like, if you went and saw them, you're like, holy shit, like every time you saw them.
It was just a total crazy shit show.
Their shows are out of control.
With like the props and the nudity, and the audience loved getting gore on them.
With his blood and his gore, this was something that I'd never even seen.
They were taking chances, they were doing things that nobody else had done.
People came to haunted garage shows and just lost themselves in the show.
There's always like something different at every show that we didn't do, like
new
the last
effect or
show.
new song.
Yeah.
Or new hairstyle.
Yeah.
And there was a shock value.
The shock value was exactly what I wanted.
There's this real fervor at the time about shock rock, how bad it was for the kids.
It's in the name of fun, and that's the kind of punk that I always gravitated towards.
It's kind of like, did you ever see Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park?
It's a sideshow. It's a freak show.
It was like a kind of audience participation kind of thing.
We were sort of the catalyst. The audience was what sort of set the tone in motion and set the events in motion.
They just were doing it to have a good time and make you laugh.
It might gross some people out, but there was always a lot of humor behind it.
And you walk out of there feeling like you've maybe left the planet for a little while.
And I think it connected with people in a kind of psychic sort of way, you know?
People used to tell me they saw me on acid, and I just cannot imagine what those poor guys are like now.
It was beyond just this world, even. I know it sounds weird, but...
That's why I loved Haunted Garage.
But the music was really good.
But it really rocked hard. I mean, he had really good musicians in the band.
These guys could really play their instruments.
People think maybe we were just a gimmick, an act, but we took the music very, very seriously.
As much as we put into, you know, our lifestyle and image and we like, that's what we put into the music too. We rehearse a lot.
Well, the music was kind of a bit of everything.
They had their own distinctive sound.
Oh, Haunted Garage is like definitely aggressive music.
It's brief and to the point.
Yeah.
They weren't all punk, they weren't all metal, they weren't all hardcore. They were kind of a mixture of all of it, which I thought was really great.
What is it? It is splatter rock.
This is chainsaw rock and roll.
Yeah.
I remember two young ladies came up to the stage and put a note in front of me. The note read, "What are you doing in this band?" You're like this glamour hard rock metal guy, or at least that's what you look like, and these guys are all freaks.
Each band member was completely different and unique.
I love the combination of different personalities and stuff.
Everybody had their own kind of shtick and look, and it was cool.
It's not an act that we put on to go on stage, though there is performance in this, but it's part of our life that we're extending onto the stage and maybe making it a little bigger.
We wanted to back it up with that character, with that feel. We didn't want it to be only this deep. We want it to be this deep.
None of us are being anything less than what we want to be, and we're taking it to the limit.
You take the whole group and they just look like a bunch of psychos out of a mental ward.
Black drummer, Asian guitar player, crazy ass who knows what singing, and white guy, white biker playing bass,
We don't put on a phony little act just to blow you away. If we're gonna blow you away, we're gonna do it with ourselves.
That was what really drew me to the band, was we could be as weird as we wanted to, and it was okay. I mean, it was actually encouraged. It was just really free.
It was probably the best part of my life as far as like just being myself, self-actualization, and you just felt good about yourself, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and we were living it.
Based on the big guy, Greg Kinnear, live from Hollywood, California. This has been the premiere of Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, where it's been...
You can tell that they really live not the rock and roll lifestyle. They live the movie lifestyle, and that's another thing about Hollywood. You know, we do have a fascination with film.
Mr. Kaufman, Andy Kaufman, star of My Breakfast with Lassie, and one of the stars of the soon-coming to TV series Taxi Driver.
I can say he always loved film. You know, he was going to be involved in film one way or another.
Yeah, in the beginning, the band was secondary to the movie career, but I always tried to meld them together.
Bang your hats!
He was famous for being on Name That Tune.
Michael, been a hard day's night? That's it, a hard day's night.
His catalog of horror films is incredible.
I had seen many of Dookie's movies long before I knew who he was. Blood Diner, Surf Nazis Must Die, Nightmare Sisters, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, Sorority Babes.
What are you staring at? This ain't no freak show.
So many of the movies that were made in the late 70s and 80s were considered throwaway films, but no one expected the longevity that they've had, and that multiple generations of fans would adore these films.
I scared a cop.
Another picture I happen to come across, I think it's a quite handsome shot, a headshot, one of the many of Michael Sonny.
You need somebody in a movie, that's the guy that you want, because he's a fucking interesting dude.
It was just a great time to be young and in Hollywood and working constantly.
How'd you like that snake with a 5-finger ring?
When I would go to a science fiction or monster convention, there'd be maybe 200 people there. And now you go to convention, there are thousands of people and hundreds of booths. If we were still together, we'd be playing those gigs.
The band didn't actually start out as prop rock. It started out as a band that was covering bad songs from bad movies.
We're the Haunted Garage. Please stop us before we play again.
Would Haunted Garage be canceled now? Yeah, probably.
And things were very different those days. Political correctness existed, but certainly not to the point that it does today.
And then we did some things at our shows that I guess you could find offensive. I don't know. I didn't, but I'm sure my mom would have.
Anything that you do that gets a reaction out of people, that makes people feel, makes them think, irritates them a little, is good.
You take it to the limit. We just want to make offensiveness a very pleasant art form for the new century.
It's probably no grosser than what Bill Cosby does at home with all those Jell-O pudding pops.
And those children.
I think it was a product of its time. Today, you'd have to be careful doing anything with any kind of sexual content.
If dancing half naked on stage makes you feel empowered, which I know it makes me feel empowered, so I guess you could call it feminist.
Yeah, we chose Alpha, and I think we got progressively nakeder. Yeah.
Our fans that really love us don't think we're Satanists. They don't think we're morally corruptible people. I mean, they're there to have a good time. We're outrageous. We're like Monty Python.
I think of him as a guy with commitment to his art.
I think Dookie always kind of had a big time vision with a kind of small time execution.
That's Dookie. I mean, he wants to take it as far as he can take it.
I've always been shocked at the effort that he's put into his shows.
It wasn't like you could put the album on and get this. You can't. You had to be there live.
You gotta see this band.
You kind of had to be there.
It's pure entertainment the whole way.
You can't describe him, you gotta hear him.
As Dookie would always say, it'll play in Peoria.
He's the real deal. He's a
true life monster.
When you meet some of these monsters, everybody's really pretty chill. Dookie is the same way. Dookie is totally chill.
Dookie was the punk rock god of Hollywood in the late 80s and early 90s.
Wait a minute, are you gonna get this?
Oh, thank you.
Cut! Cut!
Slam, 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 slam!
When I did the artwork for that, people on Facebook, somebody had made a comment on, is that Billie Eilish? And I didn't know who that was, and so I went and looked it up and saw pictures of her with that hair, and I said, oh, she's ripping off Dookie's hairstyle 30 years later.
Like, share, subscribe.